one, and we're live! Hello all, and welcome back to the Invictus stream. My name, as always, is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with my exuberant friend Chris.
Hey, Harlan!
My excitable friend Justin.
Yeah.
My speechless friend Mycl. And we are back with Game 1, Part 1 of Draghiscu'S Secret. We are so excited to be here on this Wednesday night with you, our family, our friends, the community that we all have come to love so very much. Thank you guys for being here with us. It is a blast to be doing this for you guys every Wednesday, and we are so excited to be starting this brand new campaign. This is step 1 of the homebrew campaign that our generous GM, Mycl, has worked so tirelessly to create with you, the community. Long-time followers of the community will know that over the past few months, Mycl has been posting polls to get your feedback on certain elements. How do you want these guys to heal? How do you want this world to kind of create? He has done that, collected it, put it all into a form that's playable, and that's what we're playing here tonight and over the next 10 or so weeks. So, again, a big round of applause for Mycl for doing that, because it is such a great way to involve you guys and to just keep us, interested. So, as with all of our shows, this is probably going to be an 18-plus show. It's going to be a little bit of swearing, maybe a little bit of nudity. Well, there's like a lot of boobs in this campaign, right, Mike? You said like there's going to be boobs.
That's why I'm playing.
Take them off. You want to be a star, don't you? That's Fame, also a great movie. So yeah, it's probably going to be an 18-plus show, so be wary. If you feel like you're not ready to hear some no-no words, then shut the video off. But before you do that, you make sure you go ahead and like the video on YouTube, because it makes us happy. It makes Chris cry tears of urine. Isn't that right, Chris?
That's right. It's the only way I can urinate, actually, so please help me. I really got to go.
He has to go pee really bad. So go ahead and like the YouTube video, as well as subscribe to our channel. I mean, if you're watching this and you're not subscribing, you're just kind of a jerk, because, I mean, you're getting the free content, you're enjoying the show, but you're not doing anything, man. So go ahead and subscribe and like the video, please. It makes us very happy. Also, if you can go ahead and follow us on Twitter. We tweet every so often, and we'll be tweeting a lot more during this campaign to kind of show, to involve the community more as the game goes on. Lastly, and most importantly, please go join our Facebook group. The group is the place, if you go on Facebook and you search at the top, The Invictus Stream, it's the place where everyone gets together. We talk about lots of stuff. We talk about gaming in general, post pictures of our favorite games. Some of the community members have made little movies of themselves, like Aisha and Bob, of themselves going out and doing fun things. It is always an environment of fun table talk discussions. Table talk. Oh, I just coined that, guys. Table talk.
Write it down. Write it down.
Write it down quickly. What was it? Table block? Table block?
It's gone.
Table stock.
It's gone. Forget it. Move past it. It's a great place to have that table flocking, and what we love is coming to that during the week and really interacting and seeing what you guys are at. On that note, and I do want to say the Facebook group is where that happens. The Facebook page is also a really important part, and if you guys like the show, please go ahead and like the page. It's the thing that shows your other friends that you follow us, and while that might be embarrassing to some, it makes us more popular, and it makes us grow, and that means more people can come and watch, and more people can come involved and offer their opinions. So please go ahead and like that too. The Facebook group, though, is the cool place where you get rewarded for being you. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, that means every Wednesday we reward one post that during the week was the most inspiring, most interesting, one that prompted the most discussion, or sometimes that just entertained the most, which is also a vital part of the Invictus Stream motto, if I do say that. So we would like to reward the most valuable post this week to Corey McDonough for his post about the end of the world, and he was running an end of the world campaign and had a few thoughts on how to end it, I believe was his post. And he kind of asked advice, and I gave my own advice. It was a really great post. It had a lot of people liking and kind of commenting on it, and that's the idea, guys. It's to create a community of friends, of gamers, of people who have like minds, who enjoy different things, and we are so happy and proud to be a part of it. To come to that little respite and see everyone there, getting along so well. And our community really is the best. You guys are awesome. You don't fight. You don't bicker. It's not like I ever have to turn around and go, "Hey guys, I will turn this fucking show around." You guys
never
are just
killed
great.
Anybody? Put that
Not yet. Well, I don't know. That Chris Lawrence has some crazy eyes going on. Every once in a while, I get the sense that this guy might be a serial killer. But to each their own. If it's not me, maybe it's like Dexter style. So yes, community, you guys are great. Well done, Corey. Awesome post. And again, I want to see all you guys giving us your thoughts. I know a lot of people will personally message me or email the stream with suggestions and thoughts on the YouTube videos. Same with the comments. Always stuff that you can put through the stream. Unless it's like real personal, like, "Hey Harlan, did you get that VD cleared up?" That's maybe shoot me personal on that one.
Did you?
It's a long story. No is the short one. But anyway, stuff like that is always good to make personal. Everything else is fair game. You can always shoot us something on the stream. So, well done, Corey. Thank you, community. You guys are fantastic. I throw it to Mike, but he's not here, so we're just going to start the game without him.
We do a character introduction.
Yeah, but I think Mike wants to, because I don't think Mike knows.
He probably, as GM, cares about.
Probably wants to know a little bit. I had a blast. What about you guys rolling up these characters? Did you have fun rolling up these characters?
I was stressed, because I was in that tumultuous place where I go, okay, I can make a power character, or I can roleplay. And I'll have you guys know, for a change, I roleplayed this one. So
I thought you were going to say for change.
For change. Power character. I know, that's normal, Chris. I tried. I mean, he's still pretty powerful, but he wasn't like, okay, I'll just take the best class with the best race and get the most powerful weapon and max out my character.
Munchkin. That's what they call
Pardon
it.
Me?
Munchkin.
Munchkin. That's right.
It's a new term I learned this week. That's what that means. I didn't know
Is
that.
it based on that game?
You know what? I think the game is based on that, because I think Munchkin is about growing a really powerful character.
Yeah. Well, it's like as quickly as you can, destroying your fellow man.
Exactly. But Munchkin is in regards to role playing. When you build that kind of powerful character.
I also had some inspiration this week about maybe making a playing kit, like a leather satchel that holds my character sheet and my pencil and my miniature and my dice that I can roll up for the artist. I'm gonna try making one this couple months and see how that turns out.
Real leather.
Too.
Yeah, real leather. Got all the sewing stuff that I need here, so see what happens.
What about me? When do I get one? I can have one.
Well, I will do a prototype, and then if it was way too hard, I will not make you one.
If you want, I could do a prototype out of Lego.
I got a Lego right here.
The Lego leather pieces.
Well, that's good that you didn't Munchkin your character. I don't know how it's used, but I'm glad. And because I power characters, I said fuck these guys.
No, actually, it does.
No, I did. Before you get excited.
No, because it would be good if we had a fighter who was a power character.
You know what I did? I took, and this is how I kind of phrase all my characters. I take the things that I think would be great for role playing, and then I do the things that I think would be good for like combat. But the rub is that I end up with a character that's got okay with strength and stuff like that, but then he's got like investigation, which we were talking about just before going on air. That like my character as a fighter has no use for investigation, but because I like playing that. So and with the stream in general, actually all four of us are really good at, I think, at letting the role-playing side seep in enough so that we're not totally munchkinning, if that's the proper term usage of
Somebody correct us if that's wrong. If we're just
so munchkinning is a power character?
No, in gaming, a munchkin, I have it pulled up, is a player who plays what is intended to be a non-competitive game in an aggressively competitive manner. A munchkin seeks within the context of the game to amass the greatest power, score the most kills, grab the most loot, no matter how detrimental their actions are to role-playing, the storyline, fairness, teamwork, and other players.
That's slightly different from power character.
It is, because to me, power character is like a nice way of putting it. It's kind of like a justification. It's like, I'm not an asshole. I fight for what's right. It's like
Munchkin is more like in-game, or power character is before.
Exactly.
Well, I think there are aspects of munchkinning in power gaming, but I do not think they are the same. I think they're dangerous close sometimes, because it's a fine line. I don't think anyone here has ever been a munchkin. I think we've all power gamed at times, including myself. But I don't think we've ever done that, and I don't think anyone.
Yeah, there can be those times where you find an item that would be perfect for your character and it would maximize your character to the best of its abilities, but you don't.
Or like taking all the gold and like after a kill,
unless you earned it. Back here.
That was in character though. That was in character.
It was in character,
and it wasn't for me. I wasn't going to keep the gold.
No, totally. I agree.
Yeah, I was definitely going to make a power character for this one.
Not bitter at all.
Look forward to Game 6, where Chris's character is punching Erwin.
Punching his throat. Anyway, no, my point was, in earnest, my point was that I don't think any of us have been a munchkin or munchkined. I don't know I don't know the proper past of that. I'm not sure, but we haven't. I think we power gamed at times, but not even that much. I think we're really good at balancing the role playing with trying to keep powerful characters so that the powerful characters aren't the only thing that drives the story. And I think all three of us have done that with this game especially, which I am excited about. Now, Mike is back. I am done my rant and my introduction. Mike, I'm ready to throw it to you if you want to start us on a little bit of, I guess, a bit of how the game's going to play, our characters, and then into the game. I don't know how you want to run it.
Sure. That sounds lovely. All right, so yes, as Harlan mentioned earlier, this is essentially a straightforward D&D 5th edition game. Earlier I posted some polls based on the Dungeon Master's Guide in the options section, which is called the, Dungeon Master's Workshop.
Ooh.
And again, it gives you different ways to play, whether you want to use hero points or rest variants, fear and horror, which they chose not to do with. But so going with that, we did decide that we were going to have healer's kits if you want to be able to heal. It's a very low magic world, so healing is going to be slow and natural. And resting is going to take longer than standard. A short rest is going to be 8 hours, and a long rest is going to be 7 days. What are we doing here, Aaron?
Long rest is 7
Yeah,
days.
I know.
Yeah, he was asking the name.
Oh, okay. So again, these guys are going to have to be a little more cautious if it comes to combat. One of the other things we voted on was, what level do you want these guys to play at? And for the most part, in all the games, we basically started at first level. You guys decided you wanted to go mid-tier, somewhere between 5 and 10. So you'll notice if you guys watch the prologue, they are 5th level characters. For the main campaign, we've decided to jump right up to 10th level. And a few sessions in, we're going to go back and do something called the interlude, which again is going to go back and talk a little bit more about the history, give you another insight into Baron Ambrogio Draghiscu, where we're going to be 7th level characters, different characters from either the prologue or the main campaign. I did post earlier some of the changes as far as mythology, things that are common to the barony. So that is available online on our Facebook group. So again, it helps to be part of that, to follow along. And one of the other unique things that we do here is, as part of our face group members, you get to gain experience and spend experience to change the way we play. So I did post that as well. It's in the introduction section, but I'll go over it very quickly. Basically, with the new system, we don't do a lot of calculating bonuses for flanking, for being on higher ground, different bonuses stacking. Essentially, it breaks down into advantages or disadvantages. If you have an advantage, you roll 2 20-sided dice. You take the highest one. If you have a disadvantage, 2 20-sided dice, take the lowest one.
Which is a great system, by the way. I really like that.
It does make things a lot simpler, a lot faster.
I think it is. It's endlessly simple. It's very clear cut. The is in the manual. They dedicate like 2 passages to it. They're like, here's the breakdown of advantage and disadvantage, and I read the whole thing being like, okay, where's the complexity? And it's literally that. And I'm like, why are they dedicating so much time to something that's really easy to grasp? Because they make it seem more convoluted because of the length of the passage. I'm like, there must be something I'm missing. I read it like 3 times. I'm like, no, that's it. You roll 2 dice. You just, if it's advantage, you take the higher. If it's disadvantage, you take the lower. 1 sentence. That's it.
Yeah. And again, some of the complication comes in from where you may have more than 1 advantage or more than 1 disadvantage.
Yeah, how will that work? I was wondering, the stacking.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
If you've got, so for example, you got 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages, they just balance out. You still only roll 2 dice. Well, actually, you don't, because they balance out.
Completely. You have just 2 advantages and no disadvantages.
Right? You still only roll 2 dice. If you have 2 advantage and 1 disadvantage, ones cancel each other out, so you have an advantage.
Right.
You guys follow that?
So
definitely.
If you have 2 advantages, and
2 advantages,
you just roll once.
Just roll once.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you don't spend. Yeah.
Where's my camera? I don't even know where I am. Okay. So you have 2 advantages, 1 disadvantage. These 2 would cancel each other out, so you get 1 advantage.
I get that, but what if you just have 2 advantages and 0 disadvantages?
You still only get to roll 1. Like
so really, regardless of what you have, you always roll 1, on either side.
Yeah. Exactly.
Another sentence.
It speeds things up so much because I've definitely played games when I played 4th edition D&D where instead of an advantage like this, instead of just rolling an extra die, you'd add like +2 for this and +2 for flanking, +2 for higher ground, and you ended up adding a bunch of stuff and trying to maximize everything, and it just took away from the game.
Then you got to solve for X, and you're like,
exactly. Yes, the algebra just killed me.
And for many people that's fine, but for us, we're not smart enough to do that. Oh, right, we're lazy. That's what
we're very lazy. Rolling this character sheet took me like 3 tries and constant emails with Mike being like, "Is this total correct? Is this total correct?" At the end, I was wrong.
I literally went over to Mike's house because I was having such a hard time figuring it out.
It's confusing. D&D stuff, especially level 10.
The way that I also changed the characters.
Yeah, that made it.
You mentioned that there's
make it a lot
slow healing.
Yes.
I made a healing character.
Yeah.
Is that gonna be okay?
No, that's fine. It's all good.
Okay.
You know what? It's gonna, and for us 3 players, it's gonna be interesting because a lot of my advantages are 1 use until I rest, and a short rest is 8 hours, which is gonna mean that we're gonna have to rest a lot or be very sparing with how we do things.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, once I get my crap together, just like I posted the introduction and the gods of the multiverse, I will actually post the way I made the character classes, just so that you guys can follow along. Because it's low magic, for example, the cleric, or as we're calling him, the priest, doesn't get as many spell slots. He basically starts 2 levels lower than a standard cleric. However, he does have access to arms and armor. And that's also one of the disadvantages, or one of the changes.
Wait, does that mean our characters don't have arms?
You are armorless.
You just don't have access to them. Straight
because it's a low magic world, and part of the mythology is that all the elves and everything have retreated from this world. They're now gone into myth and legend. They do come out sometimes at night. The cobbler and the elves, that sort of thing. But as a priest, you can also turn fey creatures and other supernatural creatures as well as undead.
Now, is this widely known, or is that just rumor that the fey comes out at night?
It's part of the common knowledge.
Okay.
It is part of the common knowledge of the elves, goblins, dwarves, for example, are considered evil and shun humans whenever possible, but if you encounter them, it will only be at night.
Okay, all right. So only travel during the day.
Well, unless you don't care.
Or you're hunting them.
Or you've got armor.
Speaking of the past, who watched the prologue? I wanna know. I just posted under the thing. I want to see how many people actually watched because there's some good history back there.
I want to know.
Sorry, Mike. Keep going off. Continue.
No, it's good. So anyway, I'll again go quickly over because we got totally off track of the how to spend XP. So if you would like to give any of our players, or even myself, if you can give the DM or the GM, you can give myself advantage or disadvantages. That'll cost you 5 XP. Okay? So if you want to help out Irwin Kipling, for example, you can post in Facebook, which will have a spot there for where you want to spend your XP. It'll cost you 5 XP to give the characters an advantage, or maybe you want to hinder them and give them a disadvantage. You can have them, so all the following will cost 10 XP. You can have them act out of turn, which means you can essentially let them take another turn anywhere in the initiative order that you would like them to go.
I like that.
You can give them a bonus. So what you can do is you can spend 10 XP, give them a bonus, which means they will be able to add +8 to any of their D20 rolls. So that'll apply to attacks and skill use, that sort of thing.
Well,
if they choose to hold on to it and use it after they roll the die, they can only add a total of +4.
Ah, I see.
Okay.
Okay, so then, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so if you're going to just say, yeah, I'll take it, I'll take the +8, then you roll the die and add that to your 1d20.
Perfect. And are they, if someone wants to spend experience on us, do they just post right at the beginning and say, okay, I've got 5 XP set aside for niche, and then when you think it's appropriate as GM, are you going to use that, or is it going to be in the moment, or how are you going to do it?
Actually, and we did have someone post that already, did we not?
Well, I'm going to set up a spending post.
Yeah.
It's going to say, spend your XP here. It's going to be a big, beautiful image. Anyone who wants to spend, post under that. And we can then determine how we want to use it and so on and so forth. But that's the one you got to post under. Anywhere else, and this goes for all of our games, anywhere else, we're not going to see it. Unfortunately, it's just too cray-cray.
Mm-hmm.
Now, say someone uses that bonus, says, I want to give that +8 bonus to Irwin, and then something happens, and Irwin's like, you know what? I'm actually going to give it to Niche. For Niche, it will only be a +4 or +2 bonus, because he's passing it on. I know that's a little bit convoluted, and I apologize for that.
No,
but so he can get a +4 bonus before the die roll or +2 after the die roll.
No, that works for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can spend 10 XP to give them an extra action so that they can then choose to use it as like an attack action or a move action. They get to choose how they want to use it. You can use it for an idea. If these guys seem stuck, you can spend XP to get a little hint from the DM.
We don't get stuck. Every day.
You know, all of you guys will have abilities that can use, and once it's used, you have to wait till after a short rest or an extended rest. So they can spend 10 XP to let you recall one of those abilities. So, for example, Nietzsche, who's going to be a priest, he could recall a spell that he's cast, even though he's normally only allowed to cast so many a day. You can spend 10 XP to let them re-roll. But they have to take the second die roll even if it's worse.
Oh, that's one of those bittersweet ones.
Yes.
We're always like, oh, this sounds awesome, and then you do it, and it's lower.
Yes. All right. You can also do something special. 10 XP. So what you're going to do is when you're doing something special, you guys, when you're saying I want to spend 10 XP to have them do something special, you got to tell us what you want them to do, and it can be anything like impossible. All that will happen is we'll give them a DC to do it. And if they can do it, they can do it, regardless of whether or not it seems impossible. Because that is the stuff that heroes and legends are made of.
Damn straight, boy.
Okay, you can also spend 15 XP to let them cheat death. If, for example, one of them takes enough damage to actually kill them outright, you can spend XP, and then they will describe what happens. Like, you know, those mysterious falls off the cliff, and then all of a sudden you see the bad guy back like 3 episodes later. I forget what it's called literary-wise, but there you go.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Yeah, you can spend 20 XP for the plot thickens, which means you guys, as viewers, can add a complication. You can make something more challenging. You can be like, hey, I want them to find a secret door here, but, you know, they have to find also where the lever is. Unless, of course, they get, if they roll a natural 1. If they roll a natural 1, we treat it like a GM intrusion. You guys can spend 5 XP that way and do a GM intrusion. Oh, look at that. Aisha has already got 15 XP for our 3 heroes, 5 each to help. Well done.
Look at that. That means we all start with an advantage die.
Yeah.
Now, thank you, Mike, for going over that. I posted.
Oh, I got one more. Sorry, I got one more. Okay. And it's just called What's This? Which means you can spend, if you have access to the Player's Handbook, and again, there is free online from Wizards of the Coast, basically a basic player's guide. 1 XP equals 1 gold piece. So you can be like, I want them to find a healing potion, so that would cost you 50 XP because it costs 50 gold pieces. All right?
That actually works really well, because I know we're going to need like a torch.
However, you don't get change. So if something costs a copper piece, it's still going to cost you 1 XP.
It's like we got rid of pennies.
That's right.
I got my gold right in front of me too, so I'm ready to get into it. Now, I've posted everything Mike has just said. We put the spend XP post on the page. I've broken down in the description what you can do for each cost, and detailed below in the comments is everything Mike just said. So if something wasn't clear, you can read it all back to make sure you're clear. Everything is right there, and I'll post that every week so that everyone has a good comprehensive view of what's going on.
And I'm not going to lie, even though that we're playing D&D 5e, all that subscriber XP expenditure was stolen from the Pathfinder SRD, which is also free online.
Stolen?
I mean, copied and pasted. I mean, you can find it online.
Well, we lovingly borrowed it without authorization. That's totally legitimate.
Anyway, perfect. There you go. Just in case you're wondering where I got it from or you want to, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
We credit our sources. We're honorable men and women.
Thank you.
I don't know what, like, to each their own, man. What you might be gender fluid, and that's okay.
Might be.
I don't know what you identify as.
I try not to label myself.
You know what? Good for you. You don't need
After the Invictus streams, it's all jazz hands and hot pants for this guy.
That's right.
Jazz hands and hot pants.
Alrighty. So, what's next, Mike? What's next on the roster?
Well, let us spend this time doing a little character introduction. Who are you? Who you playing? Give a little
Why
bit
don't we
of our
start with
background.
Nietzsche, because I'm curious as to who Nietzsche is. He was explaining before we had to jump on the air.
All right. Well, Nietzsche, the character, is one of many paths and many pasts, as it were, because growing up he was in a fairly affluent family, but one day he woke up with a little sore on his eye, and it got progressively worse to the point where people started looking at him and calling him what within the lore of this world is Fey-marked, which means that he's been marked by the Fey, usually a growth or something that disfigures them. He's blind in that eye, and in fact it's completely glazed over, not very pretty to look at. And so his family kicked him right out of the family. Basically said, we don't want you here, banished from the town that he lived in. And he began to wander, and he nearly died from starvation and exposure, but luckily he was taken in by a sage, actually, a fellow priest, who was claiming to be of the Arum deity, worshiper of the armed deity. But as he progressed in his knowledge and he learned and he was educated inside this temple, he soon realized that it wasn't in fact a false god that he was worshipping. It was a god of trickery, and so he left completely and became more recluse and was kind of lost for a long time. He has this animosity towards Fae people because of his mark and being religious and against them. Just wholeheartedly, he wants to destroy the Fae, basically find their power and use it against them. He does this by alchemy. So when he actually found the god that he was meant to follow, he studied hard and he learned everything about chemical bonds and alchemy and metallurgy, and he crafted basically tools of weaponry that he can use against the Fae people. So now that's what he's doing. He's wandering the earth. He's worshipping the true god Arum, and even though he worshipped a false god and kind of sold his soul to this god, he's trying to prove himself worthy of the real god. And so he still has a dark past, and he's got some dark powers that he doesn't want to use as often, but he's looking to help and prove himself. Kind of where I'm going with that one.
Nice. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Redemption.
I like it.
Let
me just quickly say, before that, I want to share his weapon is his sigil is on this weapon.
Ooh.
So every cleric, every priest has a sigil that they have to use, and his is on the butt of his weapon, which is a rifle. So
very nice.
And instead of magic, because he does do healing, what he actually does is he imbues these slugs basically with chemicals that he's produced earlier, and so that way, if it was, for example, a casted spell where you would do it over distance, I actually shoot people almost like with a paintball type thing that would heal them. So that's kind of the idea.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
That sounds very powerful.
It is pretty powerful.
Cool. I like it. Just make sure you don't spill any of that stuff on me.
You might like it.
You might like
I
it.
might like it. You're right.
Enty Woods. Tell us something about you.
Okay, well, my name is Enty Woods, and I come from a long line of Shazian nobles. And if you're wondering about my accent, well, this is my family's longest tradition. It is very important. It was very important to my fathers and forefathers that I speak a certain dialect, and that every member of the family speak this dialect. So, while not too many people in Shaz speak this way, I do. So it's kind of special. I'm a little unique that way. Something else about me, well, our family is pretty much completely made up of artists, well-known musicians, and performers, actors, tragedians on the stage. And I myself am one of the latter. And I use my skills on the stage outwardly in my life, but I must say that I'm not the most talented of actors in all of Shaz, mostly because I focused on other areas that I deemed to be important while I was learning to survive in the aristocracy. So you might learn a little bit more about my skills later on, but for now, all you need to know is that I'm a charming actor and am aiming to please.
Very nice. An actor of Shakespearean.
A Shakespearean tragedy.
I hope you have some...
Is there Shakespeare in this world?
I don't know. I hope you have some lines memorized that you can stand up on a log and kind of do...
Some thespian.
Some thespian, thank you, yeah.
Yes. I haven't really studied much of the thespian, unfortunately, but I could try to improvise it. But that'll come later. Later. I want to know about...
Like you said, he's not a very good actor. He's got other...
I'm better at other things. I'm better at bullshitting.
Kipling.
That's what I can do.
Erwin Kipling. I am a warrior. I grew up traveling on the road with my parents. Merchants from an early age. They told me of my great-great-great-grandfather's betrayal of the crown. and thus I was always taught that my family name lived in great shame. The weight of my family's past was carried with me, as was my family's sword, Osiris, and this led to my joining the Queen's army in order to restore my family's name in hopes that we could again be honor-filled throughout the land. During a battle, a particularly deadly battle, the Battle of Luraman, near the end of my service, I found a small puppy in a burned village. And secretly, I nursed him back to health and named him Rogue for his silent stride and almost human cleverness. Battles were won with me at the front line. Many enemies fell to Osiris at my hand, and while I was a talented warrior, I never rose in rank. And after the war had ended, I was told why. My family name was a black mark, and with it I would never rise within the Queen's army. Embarrassed and ashamed, I left. I left my homelands to seek a quiet life of solitude. It was at that time, in my lowest state, that I stumbled upon the small town of Wraith, looking for a place that Rogue and I could rest and feed. However, as I entered the town tavern, I was met with a fear and quiet pleads for help, as their small town had been taken over by a group of highwaymen. The townspeople, seeing that I was relatively experienced, a weathered warrior, they begged me for aid from the bandits that stole their food and slept in their beds. Before answering, the leader entered the bar and confronted me, offering me the choice to leave without a fight so long as I never returned. And in an act of cowardice, I left. I chose to leave the town and its citizens under the control of the bandits. However, as I left, I saw the faces of the townspeople, ashamed and embarrassed for me, the same way I felt many times when my family name was spoken, and anger coursed through me. And on the edge of town I stopped and turned back, ready to do what was right. The bandits were eradicated, and as I confronted the leader, I sheathed Osiris' sword, to offer the leader the equal chance that he offered me, to leave the town and never return. Enraged by my words, he drove his silver-plated dagger, Tempest, into my stomach and ran. I kept Tempest, the silver-plated dagger, and the town, thankful and equally fearful that the highwayman may return, asked me to stay, and they named me sheriff. And for the past 8 years, Rogue and myself have been loyal, just, and lawful sheriffs to the small town of Wraith, and plan on being so until the end of our days. That is Irwin Kipling's story.
And now?
Until now. Now, pop quiz for anyone watching. Irwin Kipling, N.T. Woods, and Nietzsche Walder have special significance. If anyone can name the first person to start a new post naming that significance will get 5 XP. That's right.
Which they can donate directly to us now.
Which they can donate directly to us to save us. Back to you, Mikey.
It is the 23rd day of the 3rd month in the year of our Lords, 1642. May they guide us in their wisdom and bring good fortune upon us. You find yourselves standing in the throne room of Castle Underhill. High King Edwards III of Mason looks down at you from his throne. His first vizier, Alexandru, stands by his side. Half a dozen or so royal guards stand motionless around the room. The High King stands. His first vizier moves to his side, and Edward III moves forward, looking down at you, as you kneel, head bowed, before him. Please, stand. Let us speak for a moment as equals.
Well, what is it you have to say, my king?
He looks around the room and waves the guards off. They look a little confused at first and then follow his orders. The First Vizier, Alexandro, stands motionless. I do thank you for coming on such short notice. As history teaches us, almost 400 years ago, a great war hero and friend of High King Edward I, Arthur Kipling, rode to the barony of Shaz with 2 other men. Not much is known of the other 2, other than, and this is where legend and history get confused, one was said to be an elf, and the other supposed to be some sort of evil dwarf that spoke with demons and wielded dark powers. It is said that Kipling and Draghiscu fought together in several battles, and Kipling grew jealous of Draghiscu's fast rise in power and of Edward I's granting of the barony of Shaz to Draghiscu over Kipling. Kipling and his comrades murdered Draghiscu and his new bride on their wedding night. And as history teaches us, it was the dwarf's dark magic that turned Baron Ambrogio Draghiscu into a creature of the night, a vampire. A vampire that ruled the barony of Shaz for almost 200 years. It was not until 1457 when 3 unknown soldiers slew Draghiscu and his undead court, staking them in their coffins as they slept, in the catacombs of Castle Kaz. From 1457 until now, Shaz remained quiet. But now, the head of Andre, the most recent Baron of Shaz, is said to be stuck on a spear on the borders of Mycl and Shaz. It's also said that local townsfolk have begun to go missing. Rumor has it that the Baron Ambrogio Draghiscu has returned. I know I'm asking much, but I'm asking for you to go to Shaz and get to the bottom of this. We can't afford another 200 years without the valuable resources that the barony offers. In doing so, I will grant you, Erwin Kipling, to become the Baron of Shaz, with these fine men by your side, as sheriffs and vizier. I know you've heard the histories, and I know you've grown with it, but just because it's history doesn't make it true.
And as he's saying this, obviously my head has been bowed because of the past of my great ancestor, I should say. And do any of us know each other?
That is completely up to you guys right now.
Oh,
I'm going to say I know of these guys because, well, I think I would know them. I don't know if they know me necessarily. Kipling, I think, would be well known, don't you think?
I would suspect if you were sheriff of Ray.
I think that the only way that I would be in this room is if I was in some way associated with Enti or with Erwin, because I'm an actor. Why else would I be in here? So I think it makes sense that we're good friends, Erwin.
Okay.
I think I would be called in because of my knowledge of the Fae and my experiences with them.
Yes, that is exactly why you were here.
Yes, maybe history is wrong, but it is my opinion that the history about the dwarf must be true. They are demonic, unjust creatures, evil in nature.
My legend says he was a gnome, not a dwarf.
Perhaps a gnome, dwarf, they're all the same evildoers who created this abomination that is a vampire. Kipling, we may need your sword ready for this journey.
And again, being that I would know Enti, but niche is sort of new to me. When the name Kipling is mentioned, I do kind of shy away because the name does cause me great pain and embarrassment. I am ashamed of my family's lineage, and the fact that this room has now been centered on the fact that my great-great ancestor, I should say, was bad. Kind of makes me feel shitty.
I'm going to go under the assumption that before we met with the king, or is this the vizier or the king?
This is the king.
This is the king. Before we met with the king, we would have been waiting, as you do for kings, and we would have introduced ourselves. So at least I know this is Erwin Kipling, and they know my name, but maybe we don't know much about each other aside from basic introductions. And what I know of Erwin Kipling, I don't think I know N.T. Woods at all.
You've never seen any of my performances?
I don't make much time for performances as I'm quite busy with my work.
Well, a very well-known troupe, the entire Woods family. We've been performing all around Shaz for years. I'm very surprised.
I apologize for my lack of culture.
Well, it's understandable. All right, so...
well, I know that I have to do this. This is beyond a doubt something that I accept, if nothing more than to clear my name, the family name. Nietzsche, I know nothing of you. I'm sorry, but I would very much appreciate any help. And since we are equals in this, let us work together.
You are here, the three of you, because my first vizier, Alexandru, has used his contacts to do his research on you and believes that together you are the men, the right men, to carry out this task.
Can I clarify outside of game?
Nope.
So they were... Okay.
Just kidding.
The characters know of basically a leader of a baron who's been decapitated, is that right? On the border of Shaz?
Stuck on a spear, yeah.
And we think it's related somehow to... What do we think it's related to exactly?
He seems to think the head of Andre is dead now, right? The townsfolk are missing, and he seems to think that Draghiscu has come back?
Yes, that is the rumors.
Okay, that's what I got from it. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. So,
well, we must be prepared. And is it just the three of us that we've been sent against Draghiscu? From my readings and my research, he is of great power. It seems we might be a little out of our league. And I look over at N.T. Woods and raise an eyebrow.
And I nod courteously. Yes, Nietzsche raises a good point, actually. Why us? Why the three of us? You say that we are the right men. That must make us special in some way.
You are special. You are all very well known and well established in what you do. You are great at what you do. And you're all known to be trustworthy. What I need is information more than anything else, because I feel it's too early to start assembling soldiers and take a more aggressive approach when I don't really know fact from fiction. I know that I don't want another 200 years or so of another vampire kingdom. That won't be good for anyone.
Well, it would be good for the vampires.
It would be good for the vampires. I don't think that is what we need.
Why, of all possibilities, do you believe Draghiscu has come back? Why not simply someone usurps the throne, or the barony of Shaz, someone who looks to rise to power? Why Draghiscu?
And he looks to the vizier, and the vizier steps forward. It is my belief, based on some of our findings and some eyewitnesses, that there are more creatures of the night roaming around again. We did find one corpse completely drained of all of their life's blood.
Do you still have the corpse? May I examine it?
We burned the corpse. We did not want it returning.
Probably for the best.
Alexandru, King. Is the king still here, or is it just Alexander?
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
King Edward III is here. Yeah.
I think before deciding on something of this magnitude, I think it warrants discussion between the three of us, as you are essentially making the three of us work together. And if you would give us a moment to speak in the other room, would it be possible before giving you an answer?
I understand completely. The task that I'm asking of you is, well, could be very dangerous. And I'm not going to demand that you do this, but you would be doing the kingdom a great service. But yes, please, take your time. But if you can let us know soon so that we can look to others if need be.
And I kind of nod, and I step into just whatever adjacent room is there, a speaking chamber, or like a...
Yep.
Whatever.
As we're walking in, I lean to Kipling and say, there aren't too many monarchs I can think of that don't demand their subjects to do things for them.
Yes, I think this is one of those circumstances where we don't really have a choice. And I turn to Nietzsche and I say, and that's part of the reason why I need to speak with each of you. I don't know my family's past. I don't know what ancestors may still or may not be alive. This is something that is in my blood, and I need to do to right a wrong that my family committed many years ago. And frankly, I hate to... I don't want anyone... I don't need the Kipling name to be more endowed with blood. Endowed.
We are well endowed already.
More covered is
swollen with blood.
You want to redeem your name? The name
I
Kipling. Oh, that's understandable. Definitely. Do you think that we can do it? I mean, I've never fought a vampire. I've never seen one. I've played one in one of my plays, Darkness of the Night, but aside from that, I don't know much about them. I've always thought they were legends, things of the stage.
Mike, can I know things about vampires?
Yes. What would you like to know?
Everything. Do you want me to do a roll?
Yeah, it would be a religion check, I would guess. I'm going to say religion for undead lore, yeah.
Okay.
Again, because there was an entire vampire kingdom, barony, I would also allow you to do history. The difference is, I think, if you go with religion, it will be more accurate. History is going to be more tied up in legend and rumor.
Okay, I'll do religion. Or sorry, history is more accurate. They're all the same.
No, religion's going to be more accurate.
Okay, I'll do religion. Looks like 13.
All right. So, what were you wanting to know about vampires?
I just want you to bear in mind that as a researcher, when I recall a piece of lore,
Yep.
often if I don't know all the information, I can obtain it. I know where and from whom I can obtain it from.
Okay. Yep.
Sometimes. I mean, you can roll, obviously, anyways. Sorry, say that again, Mike?
Okay, I just want to know what are you trying to get at? What information are you trying to get?
Well, being that we're about to face a vampire, and that we
Yep.
seem to be a little worried about it, if
Yep.
I can reassure them that I have some experience,
Yep.
So that way I can talk about, the weaknesses and the things that I do know, at least I can bring it up to them.
Okay. So, vampires can't enter a residence without an invitation from one of the occupants.
Hmm.
They are actually harmed by running water. So a lot of times, people who are suspected to be vampires were, in a sense, buried, or their coffins sank in rivers, because then they would be trapped and eventually, they take a stake to the heart.
Daylight?
And daylight.
Garlic?
Sunlight hypersensitivity. The vampire takes 20 damage when it starts its turn in sunlight. We will say that they take disadvantage to skill checks when around garlic and holy items.
And what about silver?
We will say yes. Silver does damage them.
In like True Blood, they use silver to.
Yeah, and this is going to be one of the. Sorry to metagame here for the audience, because we are again a low magic world. There's not a lot of magical weapons, that sort of thing. So in this case, silver will be useful against them.
Okay, so I don't bring up all that information right now because that would be kind of a strange thing to say. Well, I know this, and I know this, but I say I do have experiences with vampires, and they do have weaknesses that we can exploit. It will still take a great deal of skill and cunning in order to survive, but I feel confident that with my knowledge and your skill, Kipling, we will manage.
About my skill? You didn't say anything about me.
NT.
Yes, no, NT is fantastic at performance and convincing. I've been able to see him talk himself out of many a situation.
I'm sure that will come in handy.
Well, appreciated, Nietzsche. Appreciated.
Fair enough, Nietzsche. And I stick out my hand and I say, again, this is something that I feel is without a doubt something I must complete, and I would be honored.
I shake his hand and I say, if it is any consolation, I do believe it was under the spell of that dwarf that brought your ancestor to that terrible end.
Very well. Perhaps. May the light of Armen shine on you, or Aram.
I smile.
So I'm assuming you're wearing some sort of religious relic of some sort?
Yeah, you would see it. My rifle itself has the sigil on it, but also a lot of my clothing as well.
And I also follow Aram, so... Religious buddies! And that's how people grow.
And how are you dressed? What is your garb? Like,
it's beautiful. It's beautiful garments, blue and golden lace trim. I'm visiting with the king. I have to look spectacular, don't I? I'm wearing a fine felt hat with a feather in it, and some poofy pants, and slippers that curl at the toe. I look amazing.
Yeah, so I'm going to stand by the way my character's been treating you thus far. As I look a little haggard, and Kipling, I know he's seen some battles and things, so... I'm judging a book by the cover, not the...
Well, Kipling spent... Am I incorrect in saying that Kipling spent all morning polishing his armor?
He wears chains.
Is that a euphemism?
Oh, well. He might have done that, too.
Kipling probably rolled out of bed, walked the streets of the town before begrudgingly coming to the king. As much as he loves and is very lawfully good, his heart is always in the people of his town. But
okay.
All right, NT, Nietzsche, and I speak to Nietzsche. I say, and Nietzsche, just so you know, I do know NT from before. Him and I have been together for quite a while, more or less as friends. Would you say so?
Well, of course. Definitely more than acquaintances. Friends would be a good way of putting it.
I just worry for performers on an adventure such as this may be a little beyond them.
You're right. Unfortunately, it isn't a lifestyle that truly appeals to me, Nietzsche. But I will do what's necessary for the greater good. That is my purpose.
I can respect that.
A fair fighter, Nietzsche, I promise you that. All right, and I leave the room and step towards the king, and wait for them.
All right. And again, you notice that the guards are the men-at-arms, the royal guards. They're still outside, and the king, sitting back in his throne, looks to the open door, stands, and steps down. What say you, Kipling?
I accept. Of course, I accept.
Ente?
What was that? Still can't
And
hear you.
Nietzsche?
Andy's muted, but I think he said yes.
I agree. I will do what I can.
I will owe you a great service. If what I believe to be happening is happening, and you can take care of it discreetly for me. Is there anything that you need before you begin?
No, your word alone is enough for me, King. I am a weathered soldier. I, of course, have battles.
Your Highness, forgive me. I was distracted by your fine drapes. But, oh, it is...
I think someone
Goodbye.
rang the doorbell like, ding, 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 ding.
Well, I was just wondering, I think he mentioned something about being discreet. Is that... Am I right in that? That we don't want people to know?
He did say something along those lines, yeah.
If it
That's
is a
important.
vampire, I suppose it best that we don't mark ourselves as someone looking for them. So yes,
Right.
I think discretion is important.
Right, so we want discretion. The king had mentioned, King, you're back. You mentioned that you chose us because we are well known. You don't want the public to know of this quest, though. Am I right in saying that?
That is a wise observation, Ente. It is for that is one of the reasons that you've been chosen,
Oh,
as well as Alexandru tells me, you actually have no desire to rule. You have no desire for leadership of this sort.
that.
And it is that sort of man that I'm looking to lead.
Ah, well, good, because yeah, he's right about that. Wonderful. Well, so no discretion, no definitely discretion. Pardon me. No fanfare. I won't tell my family where I'm going.
No, I don't expect a fanfare at the end of this, NT. I think this is one that it rests solely on our shoulders to complete the task. And when we do come back and do complete, you want us to report to you, or is Alexandru, your vizier, is he meant to be receiving our information? That is what you're after, information, correct?
That is true, Mr. Kipling.
So we make it there, we find out information on Draghiscu and report back to you, or if Draghiscu is alive and well?
Then I would need you to take care of that.
Oh, wow. So it's not just information that you need, it's if he's alive. Or unalive. Okay.
Interesting. Do you have contacts for us in his lands? Do you have horses that we can use? Do you have things that can aid us?
By all means, I have an entire castle filled with whatever you need will be at your disposal until you leave. I have paid for a night's stay at the Faystone Inn and Trading Post for 3 men. You can speak to Old John. He is the owner of the Faystone Inn and Trading Post. He will be expecting you.
Very well.
We will need definitely to silver coat some of our weapons. Is there an opportunity for us to do that there?
I'm not sure if he will. He does not have the ability to do that there, and that could take weeks. He may have some, but I would imagine once you get into the actual barony of Shaz, it will not be as hard to come by such thing as, again, they have lived with that sort of thing for centuries.
Hmm.
Very well.
So just a question about the classes meta. I'm a Shazian noble, and I believe that our Erwin is a Shazian freeman.
Yep.
So what's our relationship with Shaz right now? Like, we're not living there, obviously. What is our connection?
That is correct. Pardon me, sorry, I missed all that.
So we've left Shaz. Obviously, we're Shazian,
yes.
But we've left.
Yep. Yep. And again, Erwin Kipling, for example, he moved a lot with his family. Right.
Okay.
You as well may have been born there, but with your theater have traveled.
Right. Exactly. And now we're
again. I would imagine being part of a performance troupe, you may have been born into it, and not necessarily been born in Shaz.
Right.
But of Shazian nobility, nonetheless.
I see. Okay. Perfect. Just curious about that.
Well, I think it'd be prudent to to head to the Faystone Inn for the night and gather our things and discuss our options and how we want to approach this.
Right. And the Faystone Inn, how long of a day's ride would you say that is? I haven't been there in a long time.
The Faystone Inn will take you a full day's ride.
Horses are provided?
Horses are provided, and if need be, you can change horses at the Faystone Inn if you're pressing for time. The next logical stop along the way, but again, it's your journey, proceed the way you wish, would probably be the next resting stop along the eastern trade route would be the Fang and Fiddle in the Barony of Shaz.
All right. Well, expecting something of the sort, I have packed most everything I need with me on my horse outside, as well as Rogue is with me. So I would be ready to head off to the Faystone Inn if you are, Nietzsche.
I always have what I need on me, as I don't have many possessions.
Are
I'm ready to go.
Am I right in assuming that you are a priest, Nietzsche?
At one time, I considered myself a practicing priest, but a lot of time you are called abroad to practice, and it has been a long time since I've worked in any form of ministry. I would still consider myself a priest, and I hope one day to settle in a place that I can call my own, but for the time being, I travel alone.
Very well. Do you think, as a man of the cloth, you would still be able to bless water?
I can do what I can for it. I can tell you that I'm more an official for things of that nature rather than in a fight. I will do what I can with my weapon, but I'll do what I can. And is it, you want me to bless water for you right now? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking if we would have tankards or water sacks, water skins on us, and I feel like blessing them would just be a nice little added bit of safety. Squirt a little water.
Yeah.
Back, bad.
I'm afraid my actions are not something that would be prolonged. It would have to be used immediately in order for it to be effective.
So you can't have like holy water.
I can make little small devices that I can use in order to heal, but I can't create holy water for other people to have.
Perfect. All right. Well, I feel like we have an idea of who we are, of kind of where we fit. We're all looking to kind of do the same thing, so I'm ready to head out when you guys are.
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go to the Faystone Inn. Even though I think the name is in bad taste.
And I look at you and I say, I would have sworn that you are elf-marked by the way that you look.
Perhaps. I have come in contact with the Fae, yes. and it has caused a great deal of torment and turmoil in my life because of it. That is not to say that I appreciate or approve of anything that the Fae is affiliated with, Erwin.
Have you come across a Fae creature before? I've seen one, fought one, slept, bedded, any?
Mike, is it okay to say that I have?
You can. You can say that, even if you haven't. You're welcome to say what you want.
Is it true that I haven't, or that maybe I believe I have?
would say, again, you guys are level 10 characters now. I'm sure you can make up pretty much any sort of background you'd like as far as that goes, because you had to get to level 10 somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I was just born this way.
That's right. I have come across many of Fae creatures in my travels, and I can assure you I've destroyed every one.
Bravo. Nicely done. Yes, obviously you're still standing here.
Part of my mission and my journey is to find the Fae and to extract from them their abilities in order to use it against them. So if we ever do come across a Fae creature, I can assure you that their demise will be at my hand.
Can I roll something on one of these guys? How does that work?
Sure. What would you like to roll
Can I
off
stab
of them?
him in the eye?
No, I want to, just for role-playing purposes, I
just want to roll a little vodka down his belly and lick it
I
from
want
his
to roll
belly button.
investigations on Nietzsche to try to pick up on maybe some of his hesitancies towards NT, so that maybe I can qualm them.
That would be more insight.
Okay, perfect. Let's try that then. I mean, it would just be pat, like, you know, I'm not gonna walk up to him and punch him and then roll. So 15, 16, 17.
So
sure. Now
I'm using this instead of the dice stream. I should probably use the dice stream, but I love rolling with D&D.
Are you trying to be deceptive or anything like that?
I'm just kind of looking over his face to get.
Sorry, I meant Nietzsche. Nietzsche, are you trying to be deceptive at all, or you're being?
No, I
honest
think I'm being honest, and I am not trying to hide. I am conveying my emotions towards NT, and I guess I'll just share what I'm feeling. Basically, obviously, I'm judging him because he's dressed as a performer. He's got these scoopy shoes and this really nice gown, and I'm a little haggard looking. I've seen a little bit of the dangers that are out there. I care about people in general, just being a follower of my God, and I feel like this is putting him in needless danger because I don't think he's prepared for it. So it's like I'm judging him not as an adventurer, but as a good citizen, and I don't want him to come along because I'm afraid for him.
And as we leave, because I've kind of picked up on this now, I'm assuming with the 17.
Yep. No, that's what I'm saying. That's all good. Yeah.
I hang back a bit as NT kind of continues forward. And I put a hand on Nietzsche's shoulder, and I kind of stop him, and I turn to you, and I say, I can tell that you're hesitant about NT, and I want you to know that I've fought side by side with him for many a year. And while his appearance can be deceiving, sometimes comical, and his wit is razor sharp, and sometimes unneeded, he is a very skilled warrior, and not a man to be trifled with, but more so a man to trust, to have your back.
If he's a friend of Erwin Kipling the Great, then I trust him. Just know that I can't be there in the fray to fight along your side, Erwin. I fear my skills aren't meant for that type of conflict.
Well, hopefully, we won't need that type of conflict. I'm hoping that we can find enough information to satisfy Alexandru and King Edward's fears, and that there is no Draghiscu return at all. And hopefully it's just a small uprising that we can report back to without any harm done.
Erwin, come quick! The marigolds are in bloom. Come see them.
And I look at Erwin and I go,
Yes, coming! And I head outside, and as I do, Rogue runs up to me, yelping and kind of jumping up, my trusty dog, my Lou Ramen Bay Retriever, that I've had for many a year, even longer than NT, and I go, yes, boy. And I introduce him, I say, Nietzsche, this is Rogue, my best friend.
nice to meet him. He's a what breed is he?
He's a Lou Ramen Bay Retriever. I found him during the war.
And is he coming along too?
Rogue comes everywhere. He knows how to handle himself. And I kind of roughly scruff his thing, and he comes up to you, Nietzsche, kind of looking for a pet.
I gingerly put my hand down as if I'm afraid it's going to bite me. And I like just scratch it with one finger under the chin as I, there, boy. And I walk away quickly.
And I take the lead in stride and say, "Come, Rogue!" with a whistle that I can't do. There we go. All right.
So do we get to the face stone in?
Well, let's see.
He's going to roll for battle.
17 battles.
The first half of the day goes by lovely. The sky is blue. It's a little chillier than you were maybe prepared for.
Any ignorant farmers on the way?
As you're passing, yes, out of the town, you do pass by several farms with people like, "Ah! Oh, well, what is it? Oh, they must be kings. How do you know they're kings? Well, they ain't covered in shit.
They're not covered in shit. I didn't vote for
They
them.
ain't got no shit on them.
I didn't vote for you. You don't vote for a king.
I bless them and say salt of the earth.
All right.
And I just kind of nod to them.
Okay, and you're coming along the eastern trade route. Starting to get weary from a day's travel, and the sun is already setting. And by the time you can tell, about an hour from now, you will get to the. You can see it in the distance. So maybe not an hour. That seems weird. But you know, judging by where you are, it'll take about an hour to get there. And so the sun will be just down, so it will be dark by the time you get there.
So you haven't seen any of my performances, and Nietzsche? None of them?
I'm afraid not. Perhaps
No.
we've just, as a traveling performer, NT, maybe we've just never crossed paths.
The wind-blown travesty?
It sounds familiar.
A tale of a gnome?
I probably
My-
would be against seeing that one.
Oh, yes, you probably would. What about my solo performance of Tim the Tower's memoirs? Have you not seen that?
I do enjoy that one, I must say.
I heard a review of it that it's quite long.
Yes, it is. And actually, Erwin helped me rehearse one time, right, Erwin?
Yes, much to my disapproval. But I must say, Nietzsche, it actually is quite well written, though the thing is damn long.
Well, perhaps on our trails you will enlighten me with some of your performances, NT.
And,
that was one of them.
Without even breaking stride, I kind of make the motion to Rogue to run in the direction. This is kind of what he's trained to do. Not for battle or anything like that, but to kind of be a scout.
Yep. You see the Face Stone Inn. On the north half of the road, you see 3 standing stones. On the south side of the road, you see the inn, and you hear a scream that came from what seems to be the stables.
All right, and then with the gallop, I suppose I take off.
Yep, I follow, close behind.
I take my time, actually. Not that I'm not avoiding, I'm just not as quick into the fray.
Okay. So, let's go initiative just to see what order you arrive at.
Oh boy! All right, let's do this, bad boy. My initiative is +1, a big old +1, so 17.
Nice.
I got a 10.
Well, Auntie, you said that you were rushing forward anyway, right?
And I figured I was in the lead while they were in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even though Nietzsche rolled higher than initiative, you obviously would still arrive at the barn before him because he was hanging back.
I wasn't having any horrible horse problems or anything.
Yeah. So you rush up to the barn, and there are a double door into the barn. You see that it's partly pried open, and you can hear from inside, "Please, please, no, leave me."
Okay, and I arrive first?
Yep.
So I get off my horse outside.
Get off my high horse.
Get off my high horse, and because Rogue would kind of be at the door too, and I kind of signal him just to kind of skit for a minute, which means go away. And I try to lean in. No, you know what I do? I wait, and I signal to Enti, because him and I have, and I want him to look in first, and I give him the motion because he's way more stealthy than me.
All right,
Okay.
So already suspecting that, I'm side saddle, and I step off my horse as it comes to a slow walk, and I make my way towards the stable side so that I'm covered, and I'm just going to have a quick peek in. And it's pretty dark right now, like there's lots of shadows that I can hide in.
Oh, yes.
Okay, perfect. So
now, there is light on the inside, so whoever was or is inside
will be illuminated.
Yeah, it will be illuminated. So if you actually look in the door, your face would probably show.
Okay, so my right hand on the hilt of my rapier, I stealth up to the side of the barn, and 14.
All right, so your stealth was 14?
Yeah.
Excellent. And you were looking in the door or side window? Sorry, I missed that part.
Just whatever would make most sense.
Well, I would be signaling to you to the door.
The door, okay.
So that you can tell me, right? Because that's the thing, so that we can formulate a plan.
Yeah, so I go to the door. And
okay. Looking in.
Do we have to do...
okay. Looking in, you can see there's stables on either side. Sorry, not stables. Why am I so brain farty?
Yeah, no, keep horses in? Like
I'm actually farty, so...
Okay, there is a ladder about 3/4 of the way down that goes up, and you can see up above is all stacks of bales of hay. By the ladder, you see a young girl who has her head tilted to the side, and another creature with razor-sharp fangs looks and turns towards you.
Oh, he sees me.
Shit.
Yes.
So I'm a little startled.
What's the outside look like right now?
It's nighttime. That's why I said by the time you got there, it was dark.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry. Continue.
Okay, so I pull my head back around and make sure that he can't see me at all anymore, and start slinking around the other way, and I gesture to Erwin. I do that.
Oh. All right.
And I pull out my rapier.
And I turn to where's Nietzsche at this point?
I will. Seeing that you guys stopped outside the door, I walk up beside you.
And I do the same. I say.
And I have my weapon out.
I say, there's a vampire in the back. And I say, you two stay here. I'm going to head around the back. Or did you see a back door when you looked in?
I think there would normally be a back door on stables, but...
Is there one, Michael?
There is a back door, but it's single, like a man door. Horses wouldn't fit through it. The only way the horses get in is from the front. And one of the other things, and you can hear it now too, is the horses are all like
freaking out
and uneasy and freaking out.
Yeah.
I'm going to, and I signal to them that I'm going to head around back, and I'm going to attack it from the rear. If you want to open the doors and maybe draw its fire or something, so that we're not just all rushing in through one point of entry, and so that doesn't escape.
Sure, Erwin. And Nietzsche, you'll do a distraction with me.
I will try my best.
Now, how long was that we were standing there looking through the door?
Just a couple seconds. Why?
Because I want to do my leadership thing, but I can't do that yet, I guess.
Just
so you guys know, I have a feat that basically 10 minutes of pumping you guys up and having like a plan gives us all, 6 people, 12 additional hit points. For the next encounter. Yeah,
that's
so
sweet.
I want to use that as much as possible, but obviously we didn't have enough time before knowing that this was an encounter.
and as you guys saw, the creature was just about to bite the young girl. You'd be like, Okay, let her go. Let's have a little pep rally.
No, I agree. But you know how sometimes...
Go.
Perfect. So I'm just going to rush around to the side, or to the back, and...
I will step around the door in my flamboyant garb and say, "Good evening. Do you have any horses available tonight?"
And the creature, again, having seen you, hasn't bitten down just yet.
No? Is that a no? Because I see a horse.
Wow. And then bites.
No! And so where's Irwin at this point?
So, if you wish to act, we're going Irwin, Vampire, Niche, Ente.
Okay.
I should have tried to do like a just to like draw him away, do a roll. For him.
like a bluff or something. Or
yeah, that's what I was trying, or a deception, I guess. Or,
Did he not have rolled for that, or would the vampire not have bought it no matter what?
Oh, he could have, but he didn't necessarily say he was doing that.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's it's okay. Yeah. Sweet. So Irwin's first.
So where am I now in position?
You can be at the back door.
Okay,
so it wouldn't take you too long to get there if you were running.
Perfect. Then I will. Is it unlocked? Can I see or?
Yeah, there'd be like a little window in it.
Perfect.
Because they want to make sure they're not opening the door into people coming in.
Yeah. So I will open the door.
And it's one of those like there's a top half and a bottom half.
Oh.
Doors.
So
they are together right now.
Okay.
That was just side information.
Oh.
in case it comes in handy.
I'll open both doors. That's 2 moves. Top and the bottom. No, so I'll open the doors.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I guess drawing him. No, he's engaged right now anyway. So I'm going
just
to,
as a point of reference.
Yeah.
Where are we? We are. Ente is at the front door, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, about 16 feet away. Just if you're using ranged weapons, and from the back door, you're about 12 feet.
Okay.
It'll depend on your weapons what the range is.
So can I open the door and move in the same? Is that one movement?
No, you can do that. Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to open the door and I'm going to move in towards him. I move 30 feet, so that should be fine, right?
Yep.
And then I'm going to attack twice.
Okay. Now I'm going to give you an advantage on this particular one because the vampire just bit him.
Yeah, and
it only knew of Ente at this point.
And how quickly would I, like, as I'm moving towards, I'm assuming, like, do vampires bite cleanly or is there blood? Like, what's the scenario? Okay. And furthermore, and this is a bit of background, what do I know of vampires in regards to their victims? Like, do people bite and live?
They can. Yep.
Because I'm considering just slicing them both down. You know what? What's a lawful good character would see vampires as like immoral and sort of wrong, right?
Yes.
Or would he try to save her?
You would probably try to save them, I would suspect.
Then I will do my best to separate them and slice. So what I will do is I have my sword and shield out.
Yep.
I want to shove him with my shield if I can. Oh, you know what? Because I get a bonus shove. So what I'll do instead is I'll stab him with my sword.
Yep.
And I will shove him off and then try to attack again. Because with my shield feet, I can shove for free.
Excellent.
Does that work?
Yes. I just happen to have condom feet where I can push for free.
Shovey feet. All right, so I'm going to roll 2. So you said 2d20s because for advantage?
For the first attack, yes.
Perfect. So here we go. So it's going to be 11 plus 8, so 19.
That'll work.
Okay, and then it's going to be 1d8 plus 6 damage. So that's going to be... Whoa, nice! So 14.
That's good, because I don't math. Okay.
Yeah. So 14 damage to stab at him.
Yeah.
And does he kind of...
It arches. And then turns to you with venomous eyes.
Perfect. And I'm going to again, if I take an attack on my turn, I can use the bonus action to shove the creature within 5 feet. So I'm going to shove him.
Okay.
And the shove, I don't know what shove actually means, but I think he has to roll. It's
I make a strength
check. Yeah, yep. And he makes a strength or dexterity he can do.
Yep, okay.
So I can either knock him prone or push him 5 feet. So I do a strength check.
Yep.
So here we go. It's going to be 12 plus just my strength modifier.
Yep.
That's my proficiency plus my strength, right?
Yes, because I'm going to say it's because it's your shield. You're attacking with the shield, basically, right?
Yeah, so that's going to be 20 then.
Oh, yeah. And the vampire stumbles back. The girl drops to the ground, grasping her neck, still trying to stop the blood, but you can see it's still coming out.
Excellent. And then with the second attack, I'm just going to slash him across.
Okay.
And that's going to be 8 plus 8, so 16.
Nice. That is enough.
Oh, nice. And then 1d8 plus 6, so 10.
Nice. Okay. Again, the vampire turns at you and just hisses coldly, and then takes a step back to look to make sure that Ente's not coming through, and then takes a swipe towards you.
Okay. Whew.
All righty.
That was a good attack.
That was sweet, man. 24.
I felt good.
All right. So you, sir, you do take a quick claw to the side of the face.
Okay.
Wow, I wish I had been paying more attention here. Ooh, excellent. Plus 6 to attack.
Ooh.
And you are going to take 10 points of slashing damage. However, again, you have
chainmail.
Your chainmail, which is going to allow you to get rid of 6.
So I take 4 damage?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right. Down 85.
All right, then we are going to move on.
Was it to my face, you said?
Well, yeah, it would be, but again, you got your shield up, so it took quite a bit.
Across your forehead, like
no one makes me bleed my own blood. Yeah, so I have a cut across my forehead as I kind of recoil. But it should be looking at me now, boys.
Mm-hmm. It's working. Plan is working. Except for the girl. That wasn't great. Whose turn is it now? NT, right?
It is
I think it's
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche, okay. Nietzsche. Well, what does the girl look like? Is she moving? And do I know, I want to do a heal check. Do I know if she's going to be converted or is she dying, basically?
Okay, so do a medicine check.
Okay. 10.
10. She is very badly damaged.
Okay,
then I will... If you get to her in time, you may be able to help.
Okay. I'm going to try to get to her and cure late wounds. Cure wounds.
Cure late wounds?
Yeah.
FedEx?
So basically, I'm gonna take out one of my prepared slugs that I use in my weapon. And I'm just going to actually slam it into her, basically like a injectable.
Run that by me again. What are you doing here?
Slam it into her. I'm going to take, because my devices, how it works is I actually shoot people with a type of...
It's a bullet of healing?
Yeah, but it's more like a paintball.
Let me get your Uzi of healing.
Yeah, so it's like a paintball gun. Sure. But obviously I'm not going to shoot her at close range, so I'm just going to take it out and try to break it on her chest so that the poultice that's inside comes out.
Sure, let's give it a literal shot.
I'm just trying to use a cinematic way of saying cure wounds without casting.
No, I gotcha. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do spellcasting ability. Is that my...
Plus 7.
Plus 7, okay.
I know, because we're here making your sheet.
That's right. Good. So, 15. 15 points of healing.
Wow.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
So, describe that to me again.
Okay, so I take out from within the butt of the gun. It's got actually a little compartment where I keep a lot of my ammunition, and I rifle through some of them, and I find the one I want, and I just crash it into her chest, and then it's kind of like a smoky poultice comes out, and she inhales it and heals.
Okay. Yeah, no, she's good.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I hold her up and say, "Vampire, another meal." No, I'm just kidding.
Is she legit a vampire now?
No, I'm just kidding.
No. Ente.
All right, so I'm going to take this opportunity now that it's distracted. There's a bit of chaos. I'm going to slink into the shadows.
Already?
Slink and and begin to creep towards it. Now, if I have to stealth roll. Do I have to do a stealth roll for that?
Yes.
And do I have an advantage?
I'm gonna say no because at this point, because it did like you were the first
Did know I was
first
there,
person that saw it.
Okay, so I got good for my stealth, 26.
Nice.
Nice.
So you're feeling like you're pretty stealthy.
Oh, okay. And either way, I'm going to begin making my way forward. Now, I do have something that, when I walk towards it, rogue archetype, yes. Supreme Sneak, advantage on dexterity stealth if only move half my speed. So I would have an advantage for that, but that's okay. Okay, so then I sneak up to it, and I'm going to attack it from behind, from an unexpected angle.
So again, you'll have advantage here.
Sweet. So I'm going to clear that. 1, 2, So on my attack, I got 19.
That is enough.
That is enough. Good.
From where you are, Mr. Kipling, again, you can see like combined shock and horror in the eyes of the vampire.
And I just smile.
So 1d8 plus 3 damage I do, plus 5d6. For sneak attack.
Oh, because you were like hidden?
For sneak attack, yeah.
Nice. This thing's
Yeah.
gonna be decimated.
Shite. Okay, so 5, 7, 13, or 12, 17, 18, 22 plus 3, so 25 damage.
Nice.
It's so weird not being level 1 characters for a change.
It is weird.
It's so we can do things.
Oh,
Crazy.
The vampire drops, putting a hand and a knee on the ground and looking up at you all. And we're back to Irvin.
And I'm just gonna cut off his head.
All right.
No, but I do want to clarify real quick that you said it was slashing damage that he did to me, correct? 10
Yes.
slashing damage.
Yeah.
I forgot that I have the heavy armor master feat, which says while you are wearing heavy armor, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage you take from a non-magical weapon is reduced by 3. Does that account for him, or is he a magical weapon?
That is an excellent question. I will say it is not magical.
Okay, so that means that 6 was absorbed by my mail, 3 additional, so I only took 1 damage.
Perfect.
Okay. Cool. All right, then I will do that badass move where I just kind of turn my sword and try to cut off his head.
Absolutely.
With my shield. And here we go. And you know what? I'm going to spend the advantage that Aisha gave me. That's right.
I like how Harlan hit the clap before Mike had a chance to say no or yes.
Wow.
Yes.
But
no, you should. Do it when I do it too, please.
But can you veto them?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
That's what it's there for.
No power.
It's yours. However, someone gave me, I believe, 17 points of experience, which I can
I
use
forgot about that. Yeah.
to counteract that, but I won't at this point.
Who was that lovely person again?
That was my my oldest daughter, Keisha.
Yeah, I feel like that's a bit of nepotism there. Like, hey, Dad, here. But I'm excited for it. All right, so I'm going to use Aisha's XP. Thank you again, Aisha. I'm going to roll 2 dice for this attack. Find out what happens. 19.
Ooh. Improved critical?
No, I don't have improved critical. I didn't take it.
All right. So,
But that's
Damn it.
still like
That
20%.
definitely is a good solid hit. You see the blade sink, nice gash through the neck, not enough to cut it clean off. Do
I
some
haven't moved
damage there.
damage yet.
I know.
Oh, great.
Hold on, maybe I was going to use my superiority die, my battle master.
That could make a difference.
Yeah, and you can forget what was the one I was going to use. When you hit a creature, you can expend to disarm the creature. Oh no, I thought there was one that just doubled my damage. When you make a weapon attack roll against a creature, you now have to add it to the roll. You can use the maneuver before acting it, but the effects of the attack are applied. No, never mind. Okay, we'll just do regular. But I'll attack again after it. So that's 1d8 plus 6. 5, so 11. And then I will attack again. Doing the same badass move, trying to cut it off. This time without the bonus, that's 20.
That is a hit.
And 7 damage. Yeah.
That is lovely. You now see the vampire grasping her neck. And the blood is spewing a black oozy.
Oh. Is it a she-vampire?
It is a she-vampire.
I never thought that. I apparently am sexist because I totally thought it was a guy.
Too. I thought it was a middle-aged male white guy.
Same.
Now, as you're watching that, you see the blood stop spewing. And then it takes its hand away, and you can see there's no more cut there. And it lunges at you.
Jeez, Christ.
It just lunges right from the ground. On the first hit, Erwin Kipling, you again are able to defend against it as your chainmail protects you.
I'm afraid.
On the second slashing strike, where are we there? You take
Oh, wait a minute. Did it?
8,
Okay.
8 points, unless, again, you can do something.
Well, I was going to. It says I have a riposte, which is when a creature misses you with a melee attack, which I'm assuming is what just happened.
No, it just didn't do enough damage. I only did like 3 points of damage.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
So you've got 8 points to absorb somewhere.
Okay.
How much can you get rid of?
I can get rid of, I think, all of it, because, again, it's slashing, I'm assuming?
Yep.
So that's 3, and then my armor does 6, so it was worth 9.
Nice.
Sound good.
All right.
It pays off to endlessly tire over, like, 20 pages of text and send Mike, like, 8 emails where I'm like, Mike, what does this mean? What does this mean? It's so long on my character.
I'm going to, again, look into my ammunition and pull out a silvered slug.
Yep. My apologies, actually. Sorry. Both Erwin and Ente should be able to do advantage on attacks, regardless, because you're flanking. Sorry about that.
Right.
Go ahead, Nietzsche.
So I'm going to take my silvered weapon out, or my silvered slug, and put it into the weapon.
Yep.
And I say a little prayer, and I aim, and I'm going to use my feat of sharpshooter.
Ooh. Yes.
Which I take a -5 penalty, but I might do more damage.
Okay.
Nice.
And I'm going to use my advantage from Aisha at this point.
Nice.
Or doesn't he get advantage anyway because of flanking?
No, I'm far away.
Oh, right, okay.
So 17 would be my highest.
Nice.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I think I hit him on a 16.
Sorry, I missed it. I was
17 to hit?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. So, damage plus 10.
Yep.
Plus 4, so plus 14. So 25 damage. And it's a silver slug, if that makes a difference.
It sinks in, and you actually see an almost burning sensation start to ripple around the chest
Nice.
of the creature.
Is there a reload action for the musket?
There is a loading.
Is it an action?
No, actually, with loading weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the player's handbook here. Because of the time required to load this weapon, you can fire only one piece of ammunition from it when you use an action, bonus action, or reaction to fire it, regardless of the number of attacks you can normally make.
Okay.
So it just means yeah.
Okay.
So you can load and fire in the same round, which
Yep.
is not what I thought, but that's cool. All right. We are back to Irwin.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Empty.
did I miss?
No, it's
Ante.
Yeah. So I recoil back and stagger from the sound of the shot as it reverberates around the stable, and my ears are ringing, and I go down to one knee and try to just find a bit of cover as I'm in this state. So I go to hide.
All right. Now again, it would probably have its eyes on you as well as best it can, knowing that you snuck up and stabbed it. But what'd you get on your
25.
stealth?
Do I
Okay.
have a disadvantage? You want me to take a disadvantage on that?
No, because again, it just took a lot of damage and it's burning and that sort of thing. So that's where its focus is right now.
Okay. All right. So I recoil back. That's how
I'm gonna hide in the hay.
Assassin's
Okay.
Creed. He just hops in the hay and he's gone.
That's exactly it. Yep. No
Where
guards
did it
can
go?
figure it out.
Okay, at this point, you can see the young girl starting to back up and try to crawl away. She is trying to back out through the back door.
She's taking from me. Smart move, girl.
All right, Irwin.
All right, so I kind of look over my shoulder at Nietzsche, who just fired, and I see the silver making the hole. And I sheath my sword and grab my dagger, which is silver, and I kind of swipe up at the vampire. It's like, that's the one.
Those things.
Is move or is an action to switch weapons?
I don't know. I'll say you can do it. We'll count it as a move.
Okay, so then I can still attack twice, basically.
That is something I should know, but I apologize. I will look into it.
But it makes sense as a move. I mean,
Yeah.
if I can go 30 feet or switch a weapon,
That's
that's kind
what
of equivalent.
Count it as a move because that makes sense to me.
Perfect. Okay, so I will do that. I will attack.
Now, keep in mind you don't have the advantage for flanking anymore because Ante has left you.
Correct. I never had advantage flanking those. Oh, right, because not using two.
Although I feel like he should still have Aisha's because he used Aisha's last round when he should have had it.
That's fair. I will say that, yes.
Then fair
I
enough.
agree with that.
Advantage it is. Thanks, Nietzsche. Oh, and I need it too. So that's going to be 9. 14. You know what? I'm assuming that doesn't hit, eh?
So you go again. Well, what do you do? What are you going for?
Well, here's the reason. I have something that will allow me to add a die
Yep.
to the attack roll.
So this will not hit as
Okay,
is.
so you know what? I'm going to spend one of my 5 superiority die.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to check it off now. And I'm going to use precision attack. And it says when you make an attack roll against a creature, you can expend 1 superiority die to add it to the roll. You can use this maneuver before or after making the attack roll, but before any effects of the attack are applied. So I'm going to add a 1d10.
Ooh, 1d10. Ooh.
I know. They start at 1d8, and when you get to like level 7, they go up to d10s. So.
Nice.
So now that makes it a 9 plus 5, which is 14, plus 3, which is 17.
So describe that hit for me.
It does hit. Good. That's like, that would be such a waste. So it's going to be a dagger. So it'd be a 1d4 plus 2, plus 6. 1d4 plus 6. So 9 damage. So looking at Nietzsche's attack and how the silver bullet kind of spread, I pull out my dagger and swipe up, cutting his chin and a bit of his neck, just trying to cut up a bit. What's that?
Her chin.
Her chin, I'm sorry. Let's just use it.
It. Yes. And it stumbles back.
And I'll attack again, because that was only my first one, I think.
Yep.
And I'll just do the same this time, no advantage. So, natural!
Nice.
Nice.
And this time,
where's our applause?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. And so after swiping up on her and cutting her, and she kind of leans back, I actually grab her head and shove the dagger right into her eye, and just twist it a bit.
Excellent. Okay, so what you do is you roll. A dagger is 1d4.
Correct.
So you roll 2d4 and then add your bonuses, your modifiers.
Sucks. So, oh wait, that's about as good as I could have got. So
nice.
8 plus 6 then.
Yes.
So that's 14. Yeah, 14. So 14, and I'm holding her like this.
And you can see her head shaking, and smoke is coming out of the eye, and you see it like burning around there. And from that, she tries to reach out and grab you and pull you into bite.
All right.
So you can try to escape the grapple.
Oh, okay.
If you'd like.
Yes,
I would
please.
do that. It would be a strength check.
A what, sorry?
Strength save. So you go to your saving throws, and
So-
I think this is a bonus for you because you're a warrior.
Plus 8.
Yeah.
So 13, so 21.
So describe that because you break free.
Okay, so I stab her and it starts smoking, and she reaches out and grabs me with tremendous force, and I feel her nails digging into my shoulder. And because I still have my shield, I actually swipe up on her hand, and while it doesn't do any damage, it lets go, leaving a bit of her nail in me, and I kind of step back.
Yes, very good. All right, Nietzsche.
Okay. Seeing that this is going on, I'm happy to be in this campaign, in this party. It's funny because I was looking at my character sheet and looking at equipment. Apparently I made a comment somewhere in red ink that says "kill them" under equipment.
What?
I don't know what that is.
This is Nietzsche. This is evil Nietzsche.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use one of my special weapons, bullets. So I take one out that has a little foggy mist inside of it, and I'm going to use a... Where is it? Oh, sorry guys, should have been ready.
Okay.
It's awesome. You just wait for it. The anticipation is building. I'm going to use Sacred Flame.
Ooh. Ooh.
So it's like an incendiary weapon, but it's a little bit, I've blessed it and everything, so I'm gonna try to use that. So how do I cast that one? So should I roll for it, or do you roll a saving throw? For the saving throw, you have to roll a saving throw.
Okay. What am I will do this one publicly so that they can everyone see. What saving throw am I doing? Does it say dexterity or?
Dexterity saving throw.
Ooh! There we go. So they got a 9.
Okay, so then you would say. I imagine I beat that.
Yeah.
Where is it on my sheet though? I'll find it later, but I know I have a higher casting spell than that. So it does 1d8 radiant damage, and damage increases by 1d8 when I get to 5th level.
Okay.
So, sorry. Yeah, 2d8 at 11. Okay, so 2d8 damage. So we have 12. Do I add my wisdom modifier?
No, not on this.
Okay, so 12 radiant damage. So I hit him just in the shoulder, but at first nothing, and then all of a sudden it starts to smoke, and then flames start shooting out, and just fire just ignites from the shoulder.
Okay, you can see actual panic in this creature's eyes now. And Entei gets to go, unless you would like to also move from where you are and go somewhere else.
Whereabouts am I? Am I within fighting reach? Like, how far away am I?
You've been using your musket for the most part, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say you're still basically at the front door. So you are.
Well, he moved into heal the girl, right?
8. Yeah, no, he used his bullets of healing to do that.
You know what? It makes more sense that it would just be like a gel that I put on her that I applied in my bullets. Or something, I don't know.
You're basically 16 feet away.
Cool. So that should be far enough away.
Sweet. Okay,
And
so
my turn.
Enti is he sees this this all happening, and he's thinking quickly. Is there anything around? Is there like a blanket around, like a thick horse blanket?
There definitely would be horse blankets and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Stalls! That's what I'm
Okay,
trying to
stalls. Yes, there you go.
Giant litter boxes for horses is basically what they are.
So while I was hiding, I took some tissue and I stuffed my ears with them, so that because I don't know if he's going to use that kind of bits of hay sticking out of my ears. And so I grab the horse blanket and I run to the creature as quickly as I can and just try to put out the flames. Just try to muff it with all the dry hay around and everything.
Why are you? You're gonna put the hay, you're gonna put the flames out with hay?
I'm putting it out with the horse blanket.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to muff the flame, but yeah, and he doesn't think it's the best place for flame. Yeah.
Well,
so, do I have to do it? I don't know if it might just be sacred flame. I don't know if that burns.
Yeah, I'm gonna count it as, in a sense, an attempt to grapple. Right, because you're basically trying to put the blanket over it.
I'm just gonna try to throw it on. I don't think that I'm the grappling type. So, Can I do that?
In that sense, yeah, we'll treat it, do it as a dexterity.
All right.
In a sense, it would be almost like a net, trying to throw a net. Right.
So is it a skill? Am I doing?
Let me quickly see what happens with a net. Don't go a net. Net. A large or small creature hit by a net is restrained until it is free. A net has no effect on creatures that are formless or creature huge. Blah 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 blah. Dealing. Okay. So I will say that you're not necessarily proficient with a net.
Okay.
So you just do your throw it, add your dexterity modifier.
Okay, you know what?
Now, how close are you getting?
You know what? I would be getting close, but he takes a few steps with it.
Yeah.
But then he stops, and he thinks about what's at stake, and he's like, okay, so if this thing stays on fire, it has a good chance of dying. If I put it out, then the place doesn't burn down. But I mean, this
For
thing.
the record, the thing doesn't continue to burn or anything.
It doesn't, eh?
No.
I would think that it would, though. But either way, I drop the blanket. I drop it, and I'm like, you know what? This thing needs to die.
Fair enough.
More than we need to save the stables.
Priorities.
You're using your turn to look around, grab the blanket, run up, and go. No.
Yeah. Okay. So then
correct?
I do have. So I do have a second action. So
Okay.
So I'm allowed to do 2 actions. So I was thinking that would be like a sleight of hand.
Yeah.
And then can I attack?
Okay.
Yeah. So I take out my hand crossbow.
Yep.
And I aim carefully, and I try to get it. I guess it's already been shot in the heart, eh?
Shoulder-ish.
Shoulder-ish? Okay, I aim right for the heart and try to get it there.
Fair enough.
Advantage, disadvantage?
I'm going to give you disadvantage because you're doing it, like, in a sense, a called shot. And it's on fire and whirling around and panicking.
Okay, yes, that would make it more difficult.
I don't think they actually have...
All right. So that is a...
can spend 5 XP to let him to switch that to an advantage, therefore he can choose it.
Pardon me, sorry?
Is there any way someone can spend 5 XP to give him an advantage at this point so that he can
Well,
choose?
he hasn't used Aisha's 5 XP yet.
I haven't, but I feel like it would just cancel out... Oh, it would cancel out one of them? I could choose which one it cancels out?
No. What you do is you just re-roll, but you only roll 1d20 instead of 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, it's
because
okay.
you got 1 advantage, 1 disadvantage, so they cancel out. You just roll 1d20.
Right. It's okay. I missed with my crossbow. I fire at it, and it's just moving too fast, and I say, damn it. And I begin to reload. I don't have enough turns.
Okay.
Erwin.
All right. So she's basically just on fire in front of me, right?
Yep.
Baby, just so hot. Bam! And then I stab her.
Excellent. You pull the dagger from her eyes.
Does it look like... Oh, yeah, I guess, eh? Does it look like the silver weapon's doing more damage?
Yes.
Okay.
What you're noticing is where you were attacking with your sword has healed.
Right.
Where you've attacked with the silvered weapons or with the fire, it has not healed.
Got it. Now, did he bless our water? I know we asked, but I don't think you did you?
No.
Damn it.
I just can't.
I should have insisted. I was being too nice. I was like, do it later, and I was going to be like, do it now.
Sorry.
It's not your fault, it's mine. All right. But if I cut off her head, it would work. So let's do that. Let's cut off her head. My dagger was still in her eye anyway, and now she's on fire, right? Correct?
That is correct, yeah.
So if I try to grab her the dagger back, it's going to be like at a disadvantage, I'm sure.
I would count it as a regular attack, because to me it's the same as trying to stab it, but you're pulling it out instead. Well, so in this sense, because it's a silver weapon, if you can... I would just count it as a regular attack.
Okay.
Because to me, like I said, it's no different than stabbing. You're just retrieving.
Yeah.
And I would even, because it's a silvered weapon, I would allow it to do damage on the way out.
Oh. Okay.
Right, because it's moving and you're pulling.
Right. Okay. Then I guess I'll pull it out.
Because I can't imagine anyone sitting really, really still while someone's pulling something out of their eyeball.
Well, if they're rude. All right. So then I will reach in, grab it, and then try to slash her throat. So
because you got 2 attacks, right?
Yep. So first attack is going to be 17 plus 8. It's going to be nice and high.
Count that. Yep.
Oh, damn it! When I added plus 5 to my missed attack, I was counting the pistol, not the dagger. It should have been plus 8. I would have hit. Yeah. I didn't have to use that superiority die. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so that hits whatever damage you want to do pulling it out. I don't know.
1d4 plus... Well,
okay, so standard damage. Perfect.
Yeah, standard damage.
Perfect. So we're going to call it to 9. Your screams are like house music to me. And then I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to slash her throat with 20.
Sure.
So pull it from her and try to cut it. And if I have I guess moving out would be an attack of opportunity, right? That doesn't matter. I'll stay engaged anyway.
Yes.
Stay engaged anyway. So another 9.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see the creature holding its eye, looking around, panicked. You see that it looks for the door and runs. So I will give you each a free attack on it.
Okay, I will. I was thinking that I would use my commanding strike to allow one of you guys to go twice because you can do more damage. That's what I was thinking. So I'll go first, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my superiority die to use commander's strike, which basically means I take my attack and forgo that attack to direct one of my companions.
Well, this is what's called a reaction. Okay, so give me a second here. Let me just quickly look up reactions. Grappling, actions in combat, making an attack, difficult terrain. I'm just trying to make it a little more entertaining.
Well, it's funny enough because my commander strike says when you take the attack action on your turn, you can forgo one of your attacks and use a bonus action to direct one of your companions to strike. When you do so, choose a friendly creature who can see or hear you, expend one die. That creature can immediately use its reaction to make one weapon attack. So this would literally be a reaction as well. The only difference is it says I take it on my turn, so maybe that's not the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This isn't on your turn.
Yeah.
So
okay, you know what then?
To use that.
Forget that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to do attack. I'm going to do it with my blade, but I'm going to cut its Achilles tendon.
Yes, you get to make a reaction. So yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And I still have to roll everything, right? It's a normal attack. Okay. So 17 plus 8. That's going to hit.
That'll do it.
And I'm going to specifically be striking its Achilles tendon.
Okay, so again, roll disadvantage.
Okay.
You gotta roll disadvantage for that, for cold shots.
Ooh, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Still enough.
So I'm going to swipe down its attendant, and it's going to be a total of 7 damage.
So the creature you see turns to run, kicking one foot up high as the dagger slices. As it goes to put that foot down, it stumbles.
Nice.
And it falls. Anyone else doing it? No one else was in distance, though, right?
Well, he had a ranged attack.
Yep. Yeah, I'll give him the ranged attack.
Me?
Yep.
I'd rather walk up to it to kill it.
Okay.
I'm going to take the time to walk up to it.
Okay.
Do I close the distance, or I gotta wait till next turn?
You gotta wait till next turn. So we are on Nietzsche's turn. Oh, so yeah, you can walk up to it.
I walk up to it.
We go wheat Nietzsche first.
And I want to. You hear me start chanting to Armin, and I turn my weapon around, and on the back you see my sigil, the Ankh, the flame, and it starts to glow as if it's amber. And I'm just gonna push it against its face and inflict wounds.
Excellent. Go for it.
So, I'm going to cast it, though, however, at a level 4. It's a level 1. I'm going to cast it at 3 levels higher, so that's my level 4 for the day. The damage increases. So, it's a level 1, it's 2 or level, so that's 3 levels higher, so that's a total. And first I got to roll to see if I hit, because it's a spell attack, so plus 7. Ooh, so 10.
Okay, in its stumbling and rolling, you go to gently just push it up against, and you miss, yes.
Okay, and that uses my spell for the day.
Okay.
Oh, that would have been so epic.
You don't have anything that allows you to reroll?
Nope. But if I had done it, it would have been 60-10, so...
Ooh.
What? Blow its fucking head off.
Yeah, but now it doesn't work.
Well, no, because that's 10 XP. Well. Shucks. All right. And, Entei.
All right. Well, is my weapon silver? A silver rapier? Is that something that the nobility would carry around?
It was not.
It is not. It is a simple rapier. I wanted a silver one. I begged my parents.
You should take your sword and just carve a stake out of, like, in the meantime, out of, like, a tool that's in the barn.
Well,
Just
I
take
can't.
Again, there's going to be brooms. There's going to be
Yeah, just break it.
Take the
pitchforks.
tip off your crossbow. Take the pointed tip.
Or
Just
yeah,
break
it would
it
be
off.
a wooden tip, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh no. It'd be a silver tip
No,
if you
it would
broke
be-
it off. It'd be like firing a piece of wood into it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll absolutely, by all means, go ahead, but I'll give you a disadvantage because the tip obviously gives it aerodynamics.
right, exactly. No, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to find some rope. There's probably rope, sort of saddle rope or something, lying around here. And I'm going to walk up to it and, sleight of hand, tie its feet together.
Okay,
Can I do that?
you can certainly try. So again, we work for a grapple because it's fighting. But I will actually, as you're working to find the rope and working grapple, roll for the grapple. We will let Chris use Aisha's XP.
Nice. Okay,
And
go.
take another whack at it.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so
Thank you.
so
Aisha.
you go ahead and do a roll for the grapple.
For the grapple.
We're looking for like 8 or more, I think. We need 8 or more. Here we go. Monkey, monkey, monkey,
Oh,
monkey.
drum roll, please.
So what'd you get there? Well,
18.
okay, sorry. Let's do the grapple first. What do we get with the grapple there, Ante?
Was a 12 that I rolled.
Okay, and it gets to do a strength check. So it's basically you can use strength or dexterity. Oh no, you have to use strength.
It's strength
Because
for
you're
grapple.
trying tie it up. It gets to use either. So what did
Okay.
you get for strength check?
I got
so
a
1d20
11.
plus your strength. Okay, so you're working to tie it up, and it just pulls away.
All
While
right.
it does that, Nietzsche walks up again and just goes, "Screw this."
I just realized it's necrotic damage. Will that still inflict damage?
It'll heal it.
It will heal it.
No, really?
Yes.
I think it would
Sure.
help it, wouldn't it?
I will heal it?
I don't know if it does in the new rules. It did in the old rules.
I know, that's what I just realized.
I would side with the
Yeah,
healing
man.
because to me that's like.
I agree with that. I do. I think it would do. I think it would heal it.
But in all fairness,
But I think you would know that. I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
you would know that.
Then if I heal, did that hurt it? Did that hurt it?
No, you're healing it. You're
Right, but
like
if,
you.
for example, if I had to use a different spell, would that...
If
if
you
I
use a healing spell, I would say that would hurt it. Yes.
Ah.
So healing poultice.
Again, that would be, as far as I know, older rules. I don't know if it still works that way, but I like that way. It makes sense to me
I
because
agree
you're
with you.
using
I agree.
positive energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sunlight, right? Sunlight hurts it. Nighttime it lives in, so it's like necrotic damage would.
Well, in that case, I'll do what the damage is for. I will use this instead, which is Prayer of Healing, which makes more sense. 1, 2. When you cast a spell at 3rd level or higher, the healing is level above 2nd, so that's another 2. And then I add plus my spellcasting ability modifier, which is 7. So here it is. 10, 14, 21, 28 healing damage.
All right. Describe to me how it burns up and disintegrates into powdery nothingness.
Okay, so slowly it lights up the emblem on the back of my weapon, which actually is a little metal piece that I've attached on. And as I press onto it, you hear the sound of water hitting a hot stove, and it increases, it intensifies. And I push down, and it increases, and sizzling sound, and all of a sudden it just starts going to mush, and then it turns to ash and disappears. And as I pull my blade up, it actually drips the last little bit of flesh off of it.
Nice.
Let's do an applause for that one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aisha. That's really Aisha's.
Yeah, thank you, Aisha, as well.
Yeah, big time.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to go check out the girl when I have a second.
She looks up at you all, and you can see tears and panic, and she's still she has no idea who you are, but knows that you saved her life. And
I offer my hand to her. And I say,
and she just collapses right into your chest, and the tears are coming down.
So this
She's maybe
hair?
13, 14. Yes.
She's how old?
13, 14, maybe.
Oh no, sorry, lady. 2 years.
Yeah.
No, but I have her in my arms, and I turn towards them, and I say, I will bring her to the main house.
I say get her a warm meal. She's just in shock. She's not hurt.
Yeah, and I say, check the body and investigate the area, and I'll meet you in the main house shortly.
What body?
Well, maybe something, was wearing some sort of amulet. It wouldn't have disintegrated with it. It was only the flesh that died, correct?
Yeah.
Right. All right. So you go into.
So what you do is, you take, as you're doing all this, you do notice, from the windows in the barn, you can see torches outside, and now that the sound of the combat is over, you can hear people, muffled voices outside. Do an investigation check if you want to check the remains.
Well, because that's one of the skills I had.
Yeah, but you're holding the girl.
Oh, well, I left though.
Yeah, so we're investigating inside the barn instead.
Sorry. I thought you meant the people walking.
No. I'm talking the guys investigating the
You're right.
remains.
I'm just pushing around. Hey, I'm not going to make the roll, but I comment to NT and I say this is what happens when you name a place after the Fae. I mean, they kind of deserve this. Now, that girl back there did not, of course, but.
Well, I must say you were quite useful there, Nietzsche. You proved yourself quite the handyman.
And you assured me that you will take care of yourself as well in these situations.
I'm
as we're
talking, I'm just kicking my toe around the dust, the ashes. Just giving it a glance over, not really doing too much of a look.
Yeah, go ahead, but roll anyway.
I will roll anyway. I'm not the most investigative person.
Yeah.
You were.
I was. Yes, well, doesn't look like there's anything here. I think it's mostly...
Kick a couple ashes or what seems to be leftover remains into the hay.
It's too dark in here anyway. How am I supposed to investigate when it's dark? He should have done it. He knows I'm better with people, and he's better at investigating. Well,
okay, as they're doing this, or when you're walking out the door towards the house,
yeah,
and there you can see an older, pretty big man, balding, big beard, almost Greg Bush-looking guy.
Greg Bush-looking guy.
And you can see tears in his eyes. And he's like, Ashandra, are you okay? Who? Me lords, what happened? And you can see there's obviously people who are staying at the inn, everything. Oh, they heard the gunshots. They're all outside. Some of them were trying to watch in the windows. You now see. Did
he say Ashandra or Chandra?
Ashandra.
Ashandra. Okay.
And she kind of pushes out of your arms and runs to his.
I would not let her.
Okay.
I would be holding her still because while she is alive.
And now you see panic in her eyes.
Yeah, and I hold her and I hold her tight and I turn to the father, assuming I say, "Your daughter was bitten by a vampire. We need to ensure that she is safe before returning her to your people. Do you have a room that I can inspect her in?" Sounds really bad.
You can see the horror in everyone's eyes as you say this.
Yeah, they should be.
So let's do what do you want to do?
Persuasion. Yeah. This is what I'm so used to as a small town sheriff, telling them what they don't want to hear, but in a way that they have to hear it.
But I'm going to say this is going to be a pretty hard difficult, because again, it's his daughter. They watched you battle the vampire.
They watched us battle the Vampire.
Yeah, because they were looking in the windows and that sort of
So
stuff.
shouldn't that make it easier then? Because they would have known she was bitten.
No, because all he wants to do is take her and protect her, and
well, they could do that.
And you're saying, no, I'm going to keep her from you.
No, like I want to use their. Ideally,
no, I get that.
I get
that.
Yeah, okay.
You're not letting him embrace her at the moment.
You're right. Okay, let me roll this. Yeah. 14 plus 7. So 21.
I guess that would be for the best. Let me bring you to a room. And he leads away, and the crowd parts.
Yeah.
And you go in to the Faystone Inn and Trading Post. You can see there's basically three outbuildings, including the stables. But the inn and the trading post are connected. The inn itself is a 2-story type deal with the trading post to the right of it as a 1-story building. And he leads you in, and you walk into a small, smoky bar. You can see the fireplace going, and he leads you right through upstairs. And he says, "My lord, this is a private room, but please, may I stay? May I stay by my daughter?"
Of course. Look, and is anyone else with him, or is it just him?
No, it's just you two right now. You walked right in. Everyone's still outside going, "What the hell is going on here?"
And again, with the experience of being a sheriff and telling people what they don't want to hear, I say, this is not in any way to hurt your daughter. And she probably is struggling a bit. I say this is to protect her and yourself, to ensure that she is safe. However, if you are in the room, I ask, and as I kind of enter the room, I want to gesture to a chair in the corner.
Yep.
So that should vampires have extreme strength and lunging, and if you are anywhere near her and something should happen, she will attack. Understand that creatures, when they change, have no understanding of our world. So please stay there. You can be here the entire time, though. But I will ask that you get someone to bring my companions in here as well, as one of my friends is a priest, and he knows more of this than I do.
Okay. Okay, and you guys done investigating? What are you doing?
We would go in. I want to cover my one eye with a patch that I carry with me in order to not deter people.
No, actually, Nietzsche, before you go in, I appreciate you saying that I was useful back there, but I think you and I both know that I quite was not. First of all, I'm not accustomed to having muskets going off right next to me, and I don't blame you. No, it's not your fault, but I have very sensitive ears. So now that I know that, I've got some preparation. But in terms of damaging the beast, if we're going to be facing more of these, and I hold out my rapier, I say, I'm going to have to do something with this, because this is my weapon of choice. And if I can't find something that I am going to be able to damage them with, or alter this in some way, then I'm not going to be much use for this entire adventure.
And I say, I would like to make some alterations to my weapon also. Some silver on that edge would benefit a great deal. And then I walk over and grab a broom, and I snap the broomstick, and I hand him, in the meantime, the shaft that's been splintered, and I say, we should probably get in there.
Right. And I'm looking at it as if, like, you expect me to do something with this?
It works.
It does.
Quick question on that, actually. I was given, as one of my things, artisan tools.
Yep.
I don't know how they work, but I picked Smith's tools. Again, I don't know how they work, but my hope was that if we had the silver plate things, that maybe that would help in some way.
It would. Unfortunately, they don't have, like, a blacksmith workshop here.
I have Smith's tools. I don't use them.
Yeah, they don't have the forge, and this is the trading post. He's used to merchants coming in and trading and that sort of thing.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to mention it out there. So, like, if you got, I don't know what that means. Like, if my character can do things, I don't know. But just so we know.
So we'll discuss that after. I'll show you, let you know how that works. But yes, it's basically a skill check. Basically an ability check, depending on the type of tools you're using. For example, Thieves' Tools would be a dexterity check. that sort of thing.
I actually do want to get a pike also for myself. I take the other half of the broomstick for myself, and I put it. I conceal it within my garb, and I walk in and I say, I need to see the girl to check to see if she sustained any ongoing illness. Please let me see her. I want to help her.
Okay. You see another young girl with brown hair that looks very similar to Ashandra.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at you and nods and, yes, follow me, my lord, and brings you upstairs to the room. Everyone else is basically, some of them are still standing around talking about what they saw, others going back in to finish their meal, and there's a lot of talk, a lot of commotion.
And perhaps it's best you entertain them in the meantime to heighten spirits.
What's passive perception for you guys?
Mine is 17.
I know yours is really good, yeah. So basically, so for both of you, you walk in and it essentially looks like, the only way I know how to describe this is, Supernatural fans will get it, Sam and Dean Winchester were here and basically didn't know what they were up against, so put wards against every creature they've ever come against. There's salt lining the windows, there's circles, like devil trap circles all over the place, there's those, like, Nietzsche, you're looking around, you see all sorts of religious markings that you recognize as wards and barriers. Things. Yeah, there's garlic hanging from the ceiling. You know, you name it, it's there.
Just a bit of everything.
Just a bit of everything, because they have no idea what's going on.
Awesome.
Yes. So, Entei, you were planning on doing a performance?
Well, not a performance per se, but just entertaining them, speaking with them, and reassuring them that everything is all right, and telling them of my heroic deeds in the stable.
Excellent. So, so we will do this as, we can do it as a performance check for you. An oratory, a grand oratory. You can give grand oral.
I can give grand oral Tory. Grand Tory oral. So 29.
Excellent. Without a doubt, like, a hush falls over the audience as they all turn towards you. And again, even though some of them some of them saw you do that stab in the back of the vampire, and then they were like amazed because it's like you disappeared in thin air.
Right.
So you've got their attention.
Well, and then I don't have to go into it now. I'm more interested in hearing what happens with the. The girl's not there. Oh, okay. All right.
Well, I would get into the room with the girl eventually, anyways.
Yep. Yeah. So you go upstairs and you see the father like sitting, shaking. You see there's another lady by the man. Oh, you guys didn't know the father. So there's a big.
I would assume it's the father.
Yeah. Another lady that looks like she keeps moving almost to go over. The young girl's lying on the bed, like trying to reach out her hand towards her parents, and Erwin is there, kind of just calm yourself. This won't hurt. We'll do our best to tend you as quickly as possible, so that you can join your family once again.
I walk over to the father and I put my hand on his shoulder and give him a reassuring nod, and I do the same to the mom, and I walk over and kneel beside the girl, and I check her neck first thing to see if it looks like it's healed.
It has healed, and as you suspect, it's from you.
Okay, and I check her teeth.
Okay, so what I want to do is do a medicine check.
Nine.
You don't see anything out of the ordinary. Everything seems to be okay. You can tell she's weak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys have ever given a lot of blood, but you need juice and cookies.
Right.
You need some food. Get the blood sugar levels back going.
Well, I asked that he got her something to eat, so I hope that something was here.
Nothing so far.
I'm going to try a spell on her all the same.
Well, can I do investigate as well? Because I'm standing there as well, right? Right behind him, beside him.
Yep.
Just
What
before,
are you looking for?
the same thing, but while he's looking in a health sense, I'll be looking at an investigative sense.
Yep.
Right,
Or
to
just
see
other marks or that sort of thing.
Exactly. Only because then, and again, I'd be telling him everything I find. Not much better. 6 plus 6, so 12.
Yep. Both of you are basically assessed that you got there. It looks like the vampire was there to feed, not to turn other creatures. So it looks like you got there in time to save her, and you feel that once she's recovered, once she's slept, rested, years of psychotherapy, she will be okay.
All the same, I'm going to cast Remove Curse.
Excellent.
So at a touch, all creatures affecting at your touch, all curses affecting one creature object end. If the object is cursed, magical curse remains, but the spell breaks its owner's, but it's not an item, so it just ends the curses. I don't know if a vampire is a curse, but I mean, this is kind of how much my character would know and try it all the same. It's more of just a blessing on the girl. Maybe she'll have, you know,
I'm going to say that'll work.
Okay.
I feel like that sounds fair.
Mm-hmm. And while he's doing this, I'll walk over to the father.
50-50 disease and 50-50 curse to me.
Yeah.
And while he does this, before he does this, I kind of want to go to him and just be like, what are you doing? What are you planning on doing here?
I plan on blessing the girl to assure that any evil that transpired between her and the vampire does not remain with this body.
Okay. And I say, let me get the father out of here first.
I'm sure he's seen a blessing of Armin before. It will not be anything too unnatural appearing.
I don't want, if anything should go wrong, I don't want you to have any ill will from these people.
And I show him underneath my coat the broken piece of wood, and I say, perhaps that is for the best.
And I
imply that I'm going to use it if I have to, obviously.
Exactly. And I walk over to the father and just say, what was his name? I didn't get it yet.
We haven't got it either.
Old John.
Old John?
Is what
he's the owner.
The wife calling.
Perfect. Old John. So I say, Old John, you must be the owner. Come, she seems fine. My friend here is just going to stay by her side. Let us get her some food and we will come back so that she can regain some of her strength. And I'll roll persuasion.
Yeah, and yeah, go ahead and roll persuasion, and both of you guys also, what's your passive perception, Erwin?
14. So, 16.
Okay. So 14 was passive, and your roll for persuasion was 16. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, my roll was 16. My passive is 14. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You can easily, from what they've seen, they are trusting you guys, and you can see the wife fiddling with a necklace, which is a stylized sun with a Ankh inset.
So Aram as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming that this world is still very mage dangerous, right? There's outcasts, wizards, witches, all that kind of shit.
Yes, but that's very different from priests. They
no,
trust
I know.
Priests, right?
I'm probably being overly cautious.
Yeah.
But
priests rid them of the undead.
I want to give
all the same.
Privacy.
Even if you saw like a exorcism, it might be a little bit much for someone to handle.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly my thinking. Because if she does have some sort of thing to get out that spirit, I don't know what you have to do. I don't want to risk us at this point because we're gonna stay here. So I get them out of there.
Oh! I just got another message from Keisha. I forgot you're the DM. I'm not using my XP.
Good.
She's using it to help you guys. So she says she suspects she has about 17.
Damn straight. Spend it on us.
So Justin can check that later, but it won't be the first time I've disowned her.
Bet it this way. That's the way to do it.
Yes.
You always want to bet on the good guys. Good. All right, so we leave.
All right.
And as they walk downstairs, they hear me saying, "And so, do not despair. I want to leave you with a feeling of hope and inspiration. For these things can be defeated, as you have seen. I can see with all of these trinkets that you've been trying, and this must have been a large problem for you lately, has it not?
You can see some people like,
Well, speak up. It's fine. Speak your mind. This is an open floor.
It seems as of late there have been not like nothing has crossed the border, but we've heard rumors from Shaz. This is the first time we've ever had anything from Shaz into the land of Mason.
Ah. Well, my friend here could tell you a bunch more, and I gesture to Nietzsche on the stairwell. But I'll tell you what I know. From what I know, they are called vampires, or however you want to call them. And from what I know of them, from the play that I starred in, called 15 Shades of Darkness, I know that they don't like wooden stakes. They don't like being penetrated. But you must pierce them in the heart. That is the only way to kill them, or with silver. Does anybody here have a forge? Anybody? No one has a forge. Right.
Raise your hand if you have a forge.
Raise your hand. Anyone has a forge?
Okay.
No.
One of the farmers is like, I've got a forge.
Good.
Sir.
What's your name? What's your name, good sir?
Murray.
Murray, you are going to be a valuable commodity in the days to come. In all seriousness.
He gets a little proud. He's like, oh, yeah, that I'm a commodity.
Listen, Murray.
Oh, you liking me now, ladies?
Murray, shut up. Shut up, Murray. Listen to me. You have a forge, and everyone here, your valuables, anything made of silver, you're going to have to create weapons if you're going to want to defend your town. Now, spread them out evenly, but I'm going to have to make use of your forge as well, Murray. Kipling, Erwin, do you have anything else to say?
And I guess I'll be walking down the stairs with the father and the mother, and I kind of direct them to the kitchen as I look towards NT.
Mother stays in the room.
Sorry, the father.
Yeah.
And I look at NT and kind of piece together what he's been saying, and I turn to the man. You have a forge that can melt silver, that can craft weapons.
I do, my lord.
Well, and I look to NT and say, no, that's brilliant. That we can get on. We can start crafting things to aid us right away.
And as you were talking, you can see some people like taking off necklaces, rings. Not much. Again, they're not wealthy people, so there's the occasional one.
Do we have any gold on us? Did we start with any money?
You would have some, yeah. Silver shillings. That's what you have. And then and once you say that, people are like, oh, yeah. And so they start dumping money on the table.
No, right. I mean...
Well, this is for the town. This isn't just for us.
Yeah.
Right, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah,
we'll do our first.
A lot of these are the locals. Others, like the guys, people you can see sort of passing through, are just kind of keeping to themselves because they're like, yeah, it's not really our problem. We're out of here soon.
Yeah.
All right, but there's like 4 or 5 of the locals that are like.
Oh, and if you are, in fact, a traveler heading down the road, it may be wise for you to take weapons for your journey. Just saying. Contribute to the cause.
Well, you going to Shaz? I'm not going to Shaz. Fuck that place. Like I'm heading to Algathorn.
Right. Well, if the vampires made it this far, who says they can't make it to Algathor, right?
And with that, I'll join the room again. I'll come down from the stairs.
Everything you can tell is the girl's going to be fine when she
eats some soup.
Some stew. Some sweet potato stew.
And I go after old John in the kitchen and say, based on when kind of Nietzsche comes out and probably nods, something of that sort, I'll go inform him of the same and ask him if he has a room for us or a room that we can speak privately in, the 3 of us.
Because I believe you're the man that I've been waiting for. Is this? Have you been sent by a friend?
Yes, and I signal to Nietzsche and NT.
Because yes, I have just the room. Please come on back upstairs. I will. Bobby, and then you see another. You see another girl.
Bobby, get over here.
Another young girl looks up, and he's like, "Bring us some ale."
Not
so she starts pouring ale and puts it on a tray and starts following you up the stairs.
I'm good. Put one back.
I'll take his. Thank you.
And he drinks for me. And I say, 1 minute, I'll meet you up there. And I go to the front door and open it, and Rogue comes in.
Oh, yeah.
And I pat him down.
And everyone kind of stops, and then you hear as a cat runs off and scurries into the kitchen.
I go to the doorman. In fact, if anyone asks to enter, don't invite them in. Before I leave, I just make this comment to anybody down below, very nonchalantly, and I walk back up with the others.
Unless it's Rogue, you can always invite Rogue in. Come, Rogue.
Everyone's like, can't believe this will be good for business for a while. All right, and, so you head upstairs, and
who asked you to go to a bar?
That's generally it. It's a public place. You don't necessarily need to ask. They wouldn't need to ask to go to his private.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
Right? But again, there's so much salt and wards and stuff that
you're probably safe anyway.
You're probably safe
from everything.
Yeah.
And when we get into the room, I kind of set Rogue down in the corner, and I turn to the other three, and I say, while this place is very well protected, it is possible, at least to my knowledge of vampires, that there could be amongst them those who blend in. Is that incorrect, Nietzsche?
That is quite correct. Those are the ones you have to worry about the most, but you can be assured that they would be traveling at night all the same, so that's a good indicator.
Is there anyone, and I speak to Old John, is there anyone that has been acting out of sorts or odd? Anyone that, for whatever reason, strikes you?
No, come to think about it, the only ones that arrived at night are you three.
None of the merchants coming through have been acting strangely.
I grab a piece of garlic off the counter and eat it whole.
When you speak, don't go towards me, please. Speak that way. But what about townsfolk? They could easily have been turned.
Well, this isn't. I guess that's true enough. Now that we know that they've crossed the borders. Yeah, I guess there's a few we could look into. I mean, no one seemed any different tonight.
It's entirely possible.
Do you have a perimeter patrol? Someone who's out there keeping guard of the place? Perhaps guard towers? Or?
Not at all. Not until you get to the actual border. There is a keep, but they don't apparently send. They're not well enough manned to send people out this far.
Do you act as mayor of the town here, Old John?
You're being very generous calling this a handful of farmers of town.
Well, this community. You are a community leader, yes?
Of sorts. There's really only 10 families.
Right. They look up to you?
Well, I mean, we respect each other. We all do what we can to help each other out.
Good. So neighborhood watch is a term in your vocabulary.
Well, our farms are miles apart.
Right. Well, what is the town like then? Is this little area where the inn is? It's kind of like a merchant's area.
Well, there's basically on the road, from what you saw coming in, there's only the Faystone Inn and Trading Post, And then, like, off in the distance, you saw, like, a farm or two or that sort of thing. There's nothing.
I see. So they were all chilling here, having a fun night, and then the girl got...
That's right.
Snagged.
Yeah. What you found out is she was actually in there cleaning the stalls and that sort of thing, looking after, you know, the horses.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there have to be other ways to defend this town. I mean, the townsfolk seem to be gung-ho about the silver weapons, but if nobody's awake to keep guard over their houses, then I don't know if they're going to be...
Personally, I'd suggest... I think night patrols and neighborhood watches aren't necessarily the best thing. It would be easy for vampires to stop people as they go between houses. I think having people in their homesteads is actually the safest course of action, including those people who might not have homes at the moment. How many rooms do you have?
This one goes 8. We've got 2 of the private rooms, 3 semi-private rooms, and then a few common rooms.
Private rooms, to my knowledge, Nietzsche, you can verify this, but vampires cannot enter the threshold of a lived-in room, quarter. Therefore, if someone is living in these rooms at the moment, unless they are the vampire themselves, they need to ask permission, which means it might be a wise idea to have people sleep in groups.
I have to say, Erwin, my experiences have been that most people don't survive if they get in past your door threshold, so it is possible that it counts for interior chambers as well, but I don't know beyond the threshold of the entrance. It is possible. But it is possible, and it is a good theory.
So you're saying that you do not think there are any inside this building?
Any what? Any vampires?
Any vampires. So
no, what I'm saying is that we can't assume that people will be safe just because they go into an interior room.
No, correct.
Weren't you asking about the chambers in the different rooms?
Well, you're right, and all I'm saying is I think the safest place for people to sleep at this point is within a place that they need to be invited in, or perhaps maybe these wards have kept the vampires at bay. I don't know enough about them to be honest, so I'm not too sure. But we can
I think
out.
It is important, Erwin, that people have something to believe in. And if you believe in this, then it may be worth the most that people leave tonight back to their homes, knowing that there is hope and knowing that they can defend their families if need be.
I lean into Erwin and NT and I say, the truth of the matter is these people will not be safe until we destroy whoever the lead vampire is. Until that time, there will be a continual legion of demons and fey creatures coming to this town to feed upon the weak. Yes, we can help them and give them hope, and we should, NT. But in the end, we need to destroy and do what we are tasked to do.
We were tasked to gain information. Well,
if that information proves to be that there is fey creatures, vampires, that are to blame for this, I will not be stopped in hunting them down.
Very well. Regardless, myself, I am famished and tired, and as much as I wish I were not, I am mortal, and I do need rest, and I do need food, unfortunately. So I would suggest finding temporary solutions to at least secure down this building in any way you see fit, Nietzsche.
I will do what I can.
In your hands.
And I leave the median to go and barricade windows and make sure the salt lines are across doorways and things that I know could help and point out the useless ones that people are doing that are just wives' tales.
Oh, by the time you get down the stairs, you see that there's really no one else there except for old John's family, and they explain to you that all the locals got their horses, ran home. Any of the travelers just went to the rooms and locked the doors.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some grub. Do you have any chicken, old John? I could go for a nice roast chicken.
I could go for blood sausage.
Nice. So he said, well, we're well past our supper, but I can give you what we have.
Just some bread and water.
I promise you, breakfast will be much more satisfying.
Fair enough. And then after eating, the only thing I would do is, my understanding is that vampires cannot cross water, or is it running water?
Running water.
Okay, because evil spirits can't cross water. Is that what it was? I know there was something in the write-up that you had that said they can't cross running water.
Okay. And just for a moment, as you're looking around, you see all the torches, all the light sources, flicker and change to a blue color.
Midnight.
It's midnight. Time for bed.
Past bed.
Wait, what does that mean? Oh, that's a thing, right.
It's midnight up here.
That's from the world. I've known this.
Who had a blue angel?
Look, everybody, look.
And I head up the stairs, tapping Auntie on the back, and I say, "Good job with the story, by the way. Good way of calming them down and letting them feel less fearful."
Well, it's what comes most natural to me. But I appreciate the compliment. It's been a long day, my friend. I am quite tired. And I doubt that the food here is going to be any good.
I go to bed.
Erwin, Auntie, and Niche turn in for the evening. For their dreams. Keep them tossing and turning through the night. Disturbing dreams. Dreams where they feel hunted. Dreams where they feel watched. And that is where we will end it tonight.
Well, excellent job, Mycl. That was a blast. I had a lot of fun, and I am so excited to come back next week and see what else is in store for us. So, well done, Mike. Awesome job.
Me too. I want to know what the hell we're doing next week. That'll be fun.
I know, because he only planned that much. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. It is always a blast to hang out, shoot the shit, make some laughs, roll up some dice. Always a blast with you guys in the community. You're hilarious as always. Some great stuff tonight. Some quick 50 Shades of Darkness. Aisha's little drawing. I love this banter, stuff like that. And I love being on this end of it, too, because when I'm not running the game, I get to interact with you guys all the more. So awesome job. And to my co-players here, I'm excited to see where our little trio, what kind of mess we get into. So, thank you so much for being here. Excellent job, Mike. We are going to see you guys all next Wednesday. Please come back and bring your friends. And that's all from me. As Chris always likes to say,
We'll see you guys around the table.
See you around the table, guys. Good night.